Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? I've got no place to be alone, my friend. He cut his wrist instead. There's your answer. You better save yourself, or else nothing like success. I would rather be in hell than regret. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? No, I do. Denial. These are not my words. Tell me, where am I? Most of the time, wet my face with reality and permit me to breathe before I do it again. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need, what's up, people? Anything like I need you. Let's go. Oh, guitar solo. Let's go. You're a farmer. All right. Farmers only. Let's go. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Let's go. Oh, it's over. Dude. MAGA. MAGA's going down. Downtown. Dude. Oh. Oh. I know a lot of people are disappointed in that election result, but I mean, we knew Epstein wasn't winning, or I knew she wasn't winning. Dude, that district is designed so no one could win.
But the MAGA Trump sniffing motherfucker. I said she was, bro. I did not. Dude, I did not. I said she was not going to win. I absolutely said that. Dude, there's no way to win that district unless, like, the Republicans didn't show up at all. That whole experience was just forecasting, right? Is what it was. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, yeah, like Nashville is like 69% fucking, blue, but it's carved up into 3 red districts. So there's no blue representation there, right? The only blue representation in the entire state is in Memphis, where they packed all the black voters into one district, okay? And that's it. And they only did that to comply with the Voting Rights Act. You know what I'm saying? But if there had been really low turnout on the Republican side, then maybe she would have won. But there was no way there was going to be low turnout because they threw everything but the kitchen sink, right? $5 million and, Trump doing fucking telecalls. Dude, Mike Johnson going down there? Oh, fuck, dude. But here's the scoop, though, is the fact is the Trump won that district by 22 points. And despite them portraying Afton as a communist and an AOC, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and all their attacks, oh, she's defunding the police, they still barely, it was like 8 points, I think, in the end, which is crazy, right? It is crazy that it wasn't like a 30-point spin, Dude, what the fuck, bro? That shit was crazy, right? So it's pretty embarrassing for the Republicans. I mean, they won the seat, but overall, that's like a political loss, really. I mean, it was a very attackable candidate, like somebody super progressive, very attackable. And, that was not a convincing win. That's as deep red as where you live. Man, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that was a super, super embarrassing loss. And they had to put everything out on that. They put everything on the line for that shit. That's fucking crazy. Oh. Dude, I got like a bug bite or some shit. Dude, let's go. Big love. All right. Dude, let's see what the final results were, shall we? All right. What were the final election results? So he's up by almost 9. All right. So yeah, there you go. I mean, dude, this is a fucking, these districts, right? These districts, here's the thing. You ready, guys? This is how I look at this. You live in Florida and you hate it, man. I don't blame you. I mean, you got some good weather, but other than that, so here's the way I look at these results, right? Is we knew, had they put no money in and had Trump not fucking gone out and they did multiple tele rallies and all that shit, maybe Afton wins if there was like extraordinarily low turnout. But what James said right there, though, is accurate, is that this district is a fucking slam dunk. You know what I'm saying? this district is a slam dunk. They should have put, $250,000 and no advertising, one tweet, and this thing should have been not even close. The polls should have shown Van Epps 15 points ahead. Okay? And so what's crazy about this, though, is they didn't get that. They had to work for this, and they had to bring out all of their star power to win this. And what's more, I think the level of insecurity, right, with which they were like, oh my God, we have to go all in. And the level of desperation here was pretty wild. Okay? I mean, they fought this like it was a toss-up. Purple state, And this is like one of the reddest districts in the country, bro. Right? And that's wild, dude. You know what I'm saying? That is fucking wild, bro. That is crazy shit. Now, I know a lot of people like had their hopes set on Afton. And I get that. Because we always want to think we're going to pull this one out. Like there were a lot of people in the Florida special elections earlier, they thought too. But I mean, I knew, that's why I didn't get on and watch it. Because I just knew, I mean, I just knew, dude, it was one of those where once they threw everything but the kitchen sink in there, it wasn't going to fucking come out. But I did enjoy their panic. I enjoyed them having to do the news cycle and seeing that 10 point, 13 point shift. And now, and I didn't wake up until 7:30 p.m. tonight. But so one of the things though, guys, that we have to keep in mind is what's going to come next, because now, right? Dude, you like that? Let's go, Coco. Now, their war, right? Their war to fucking... Dude, why are you putting free Charlie Kirk in my chat, dude? Dude, there you go. What are you doing? Right? Fucking, what are you doing, boss? Yeah, get silenced. Come on, bro. Dude, what are you doing? Dude, you've been fucking being kind of weird in chat, boss. That's a warning shot to you, bro. Yeah. Free. What is he talking about? Dude. I've been seeing some weird shit coming from that guy. Dude, I got a trigger finger right here. Let's go. Oh shit. All right. So what I was going to say was this. Expect a serious war, guys. Okay? Expect a serious fucking war about this redistricting shit. Okay? Like after this election result, like they're going to wage war on trying to redistrict every Republican state. I mean, the desperation level, guys, is going to be insane. I mean, it's already on. If you look at Indiana, 11 fucking lawmakers in Indiana, bro, have already gotten swatted. I mean, this shit is nuts, dude. Look at this shit right here. Where is it? It was from this morning, I think. Right? Look at this. 11 Indiana Republicans have been threatened or had swatting incidents because they won't redistrict Indiana. Isn't that crazy? Like, they're literally fucking, they're literally like going ape shit on their own people, man. You know what I'm saying? They are fucking going crazy, dude. They are like trying to desperately, forcibly, make all their districts squeeze people out. Dude, you're from Indianapolis? Dude, I love Indianapolis. I used to play shows there at the Emerson Theater every tour, man. Dude, right? Dude, this shit is wild. I mean, you know, I can imagine now the pressure is on. They realize they fully know, guys. Okay, you ready? They fully know that they're losing the House. Okay? They, after the election today with Afton in Tennessee, every Republican, every single one is aware that they are losing the House in November. Okay, now this is what's going to create the sort of panic of what are they going to do? Indiana, Missouri, Texas, Florida, they're going to try redistricting. They may go to every red state and try to do this to eke out whatever they can. I mean, the writing's on the wall, okay? The writing is on the wall. So they are going to go apeshit. This is going to get crazy. Now, here's what I think would be interesting, guys. What I think would be interesting, and I don't know if it'll happen, but you know that there's some talk here of Republicans resigning. And if in those resigned seats, they would have to wait for a special election. So I would like to see the play. I don't know if we're going to get it, but if we could have like 5 Republican resignations, you know, Hakeem Jeffries would be speaker like right now. They could do it right before the midterms, which would allow them to control the investigatory narrative up to the election, which would pretty much guarantee that even if they redistrict some states, the fucking Republicans are fucked. So who knows, man? You know what I mean? Like, dude, because they're going to try to steal now. Okay? They're going to try to steal. And guys, I mean, there are a bunch of Republicans, right? There are a bunch of Republicans that are obviously, they're pissed. They're pissed at their own party because they've acquiesced all this power to Trump. They realize that, you know, it's like the entire party, the entire party is Trump now. And so you can't even like do politics anymore. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had some people just say, you know what, fuck you, Trump. That would be the ultimate fuck you, to hand over the House to the Democrats during the election year. Oh my God, dude. You know what I'm saying? Dude, it's absolutely fucking, it's absolutely possible, guys. Right? Because they're talking about it. There's multiples. Right? So we got Green, we got MTG, she's stepping down, right? In January. And they're right. So all we need is like 6 more. Okay. And I mean, she said there are other people, right? Dude, that would be crazy. I'd love to see it. But again, guys, I don't have a lot of faith. I don't. At this point, guys, I don't know whether it's good or bad, but at this point, I have no faith that Republicans will ever do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I have no faith that Republicans will, like, they have proven themselves to be complicit and devious and weak. And like, you know, at the end of the day, I think that they're, you know what I mean? It's like for a while, people looked at them as like, oh, you know, they're fucking having trouble standing up to Trump or what have you. But it's like now you just realize that they're just scumbags. I mean, we know this, but you can even go back to like Susan Collins, right? You know, and Murkowski. And they sit there and they say, you know, oh, we're so concerned. I'm really concerned about their answers. And, oh, I'm really thinking about, like, I can't go down this path. And then they like rubber stamp the shit because all of them are religious freaks that want a Christian Taliban, okay? They're scared too. Look at what Indiana's going through. See, I don't buy that though, because that's bullshit, right? If you're getting swatted and they're attacking you like that, that's the time you have to fight. If you give in to that, you're fucking putting everyone at risk. You fucking, they're scared too. That's bullshit. You're the leaders. It's your job to not be fucking scared, okay? Because if you're getting attacked like that, what is all the people getting attacked, right? There is no such thing. You're fucking scared. If you're too scared to stand up, you don't deserve that goddamn job, okay? Right? You're going to be bullied and fucking harassed by fucking criminal behavior. Like, come on, bro. Dude, you're fired if you use the I'm scared fucking excuse. Your fucking job is literally to not be scared. You don't take a leadership job if you're going to back down to fear. Okay? You don't belong there. Seriously. I don't want to hear anyone say they're fucking scared. That's fucking bullshit, dude. That's cowardly. It is. Coward shit. All right? Oh, hell. Spineless. That's more like it. Oh, man. Because, see, the thing that's really hard about this is like what I said right here, right? With this kind of behavior, like, think about what they're tolerating, okay? Because all the Republicans are seeing that, like, wow, if you don't do Trump's illegal bidding, right? If you don't do Trump's illegal bidding, you're going to get attacked, right? Dude, 6 Republicans could fucking resign right now in a stand of solidarity for the Constitution, and fucking they could bury Trump right fucking now. Dude, it's so easy. They could have ended the big, beautiful bill. Murkowski could have, right? They could have not, they could have not confirmed Hegseth or RFK Jr. You know what I mean? Like, they literally knew what they were getting. Everybody knew that RFK Jr. was going to abandon the vaccines and the measles were coming back. Everybody knew he was going to scrub the website. Everybody knew he was going to take a brainworm, dead bear in my fucking trunk approach. But at the end of the day, they don't care. The Republicans do not care. You know why? Because underneath it all, no matter what they say, they want to criminalize abortion and mifepristone and birth control nationwide. Every one of those Republicans do. They want birth control and abortion gone countrywide. They want gay rights rolled back, gay marriage gone. They want all student protections for LGBTQ students gone. They want all gay and trans people in academia fired. They want Bibles in every classroom and every office and every job site. They want forced prayer in the morning at the start of school. They want a Christian fucking, like central authority country. All of the Republicans do 100%. And anything else they say is a total fucking lie. Okay? They want it. That's what they want. Period. Yes, theocracy. Okay? They've wanted it since the goddamn 1950s, bro. And so that's the problem is we got to stop pretending like they're going to fucking, you know what I mean? We have to stop pretending like that's not what they're after. I mean, we keep saying that, oh, they're just conservative. Oh, they just want limited government. Dude, no, they do not. When the government is telling you like what you can put in your body, right? Or how you control your own uterus, that is not limited government. Okay? When a government tells you who can and can't get married for consenting adults, that is not a limited government. You know, these guys, they are liars and they are sneaks and they are cheats, because at the end of the day, man, they want that biblical theocracy and they will not stop until they get it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to stop, man. You know, I mean, even with what's going on with Oklahoma, right? Dude, that video I made about Oklahoma, okay? TPUSA, there was a trans professor and they cooked up this discrimination claim to get a trans professor put on administrative leave, okay? They want to get rid of transgender professors. They want to get rid of gender studies classes. And so they're going to attack. And if they win in Oklahoma and that professor stays fucking, you know, suspended, they're going to try it in every college in red states. They're going to go to Ole Miss. They're going to go to Idaho State. They're going to go to fucking LSU. They're going to go to Florida State. And they're going to start pulling this shit, having some student write a crappy paper saying God, God, God. And then they're going to know that the professor's going to mark them off for it, right? Dude, they want to fucking, you know, exploit this shit everywhere and anywhere they can. I mean, they are like, they're mentally ill is what they are, dude. Dude, they are, okay? They are mentally fucking ill, boss. I'm sorry. If you believe in a deity that doesn't exist, you've got to touch a mental illness, I think, right? I mean, if I told you I believed in a Norse god who is going to come and take us all to heaven after the final battle, you would think I was crazy, right? Come on, man. Dude, this shit is nuts, bro. Dude, we're in deep, boss. Dude, let's fucking, we got to gear up, boss. We got to gear up. Dude, this shit. And Trump, dude, what is going on with Trump? Okay? Right? You know what I'm saying? What is going on with him, bro? Dude, in that presser, you see that shit? Oh, fuck, bro. It's not just Christianity. No, it's all religion. Without a doubt, man. It's all religion. Dude, look at this shit. This is crazy. Now, again, I mean, Rubio and this whole cabinet meeting sure is boring as shit. But, dude, Trumpy, dude, he's not well, man. Is there a poly market for Trump will make it another year? I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question. Let's see. There's not one about death, but there is one about, it looks like there is one for Trump out as president before 2027. Right? That's currently sitting at 15% chance. Dude, Pine Box. Dude, let's see. Trump, Pine Box. Nope, no Trump Pine Box. Dude, killer! Let's go! Oh, shit! Oh. Dude, this site is pretty dumb, boss. Like the poly market. I don't like that shit. But yeah, let's watch this fucking clip of him falling asleep. You like the hat? Let's go, man. Dude, let's go. Dude, Trumpy. Dude, Trump is a goofball, bro. He is. Dude, he's a degen, boss. He's a fucking degen. He is, dude. You think anyone will follow through with the 25th Amendment? I mean, no. Dude, Republicans are not going to get rid of Trump. We already covered for that, right? That like the Republicans, they're going to let him run rampant, and they're going to try to like ensconce and you know, embed as much of their shit as they can, right? They want a dictatorship. I mean, dude, that's just factual. Okay? That is absolutely factual that they want, okay? They want a dictatorship. The Republicans do, right? They do. As long as it's a Christian one. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't want a dictatorship if it was, you know, one that, you know, sought equity, right? Although, like, it would be hard to have a dictatorship if you're seeking equity. But they absolutely want a Christian dictatorship. They want forced Christianity. Right. I mean, they can't say it. But, dude, I mean, it's real obvious, guys, that they believe, okay, it comes down to one thing. They believe that America has been morally failing, okay? The existence of gay and trans people is not about their fellow human beings. It is moral failing to them, okay? So they believe that the Bible was taken out of school, Christianity and the nuclear family was abandoned, and now the country is a morally failing satanic cesspool. And the only solution is Bible everywhere, right? Forced Bible. They want generations of kids forced to pledge allegiance to the flag and the Bible, right? That's what they want. That's what they're after. And they're not going to stop until they get it. Dude, like, look at this crazy shit. Okay, now we know people on Twitter are rage baiting, but look at what these people are saying. Let me just show you. Dude, wild card. To be fair, you'd fall asleep if Marco Rubio. Dude, I get it. Dude, I get it. I feel you on that. We're gonna save this. Dude, thank you, wild card. But look at this. Let me just show you the shit I'm seeing like all over. And this is coming from a lot of voices. And these people are like pipe dreaming, right? And a lot of this shit I'm going to show you isn't necessarily going to happen, but it's showing what their goals are, okay? And one of the examples of it is, you know, I'm finding all these evangelical freaks online now. And this guy that I'm about to show you is one of the fucking... is a major indicator of what these people are after. And he's just right here, okay? It's a guy named Jesse Hughes. He's a, you know, Baptist. He's involved in Jack Posobiec's human events fucking bullshit. And he is part of these groups that are trying to bring Christianity back to fucking kids. But look at what he says right here. He says, in my lifetime, we will see the abolition of abortion, criminalization of pornography, the overturn of Obergefell, and the end of same-sex marriage, return of American law to the Christian legal tradition, and the lordship of Jesus Christ proclaimed over the U.S. Okay, now, obviously, I got in here snarky and was like, $10 million, none of this shit is going to happen. Except maybe Obergefell, they're going to overturn the gay marriage, which would cause a ruckus because there's gay men, right? And right, like they were able to squash abortion, but women don't have enough power to fucking light the fucking political system on fire. But if they overturn same-sex marriage, they'd be stepping on gay men. And gay men still have a lot of power, right? But the point of this isn't that this shit's going to happen. The point of this is what they want, guys. Okay? And you know what I'm saying? This is what they want. And even if they're not saying it, they're acquiescing to the people that want this. The Heritage Foundation, the Alliance Defending Freedom, Moms for Liberty, right? Ron DeSantis, you know, fucking all the big fucking evangelical figures, that the Fox News people, the Riley Gaineses, and the fucking, this is what they want. Okay? They believe we are in the grips of Satan, okay? And they're going to do whatever they fucking can to like crush this shit, okay? Because we, like, unbeknownst to us, okay, we thought, oh, hey man, they're just fighting like gay marriage, and like because they're, I don't know, they're somewhat reactionary and they're having trouble getting used to like the existence of gay people. But like, dude, they're not, right? They are like fearful that Satan is taking over. And I mean, dude, look at Tucker Carlson's little thing with Piers Morgan. His whole thing yesterday was like, why are people gay? Right? Like just the existence of gay people is like satanic to them. It is a satanic choice that they are making according to these fucking people. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But this is what they're after, guys. When they say we're demonic, they're not just like exaggerating. They really feel that shit. You know what I mean? And now look at their fucking press conferences, right? They have some fucking college age girl leading the press conference, right? Again, this is super targeted. College age girl leading the press conference. Laura Loomer and Matt Gaetz are asking the questions. Everyone in this audience are not journalists. They're influencers. And they are all trying to content Trumpism, to sell it to young fucking, like they like to say, military-aged men, okay? They are trying to weaponize the military-aged men in America to get behind this idea of you get to pick your girl, get her pregnant, and she's yours for life. She's your fucking servant. You're going to get the boss job even if you're unqualified. You can write an essay about God in college and they can't fail you. They're going to have to fucking pass you and give you a good grade, or you'll sue them and you'll get them fired. I mean, goddamn, guys, this shit is happening right in front of our fucking eyes, bro. It is crazy, dude. And it is what they want, dude. I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but there's a reason why this girl is up here. There's a reason why DHS spokesman is Tricia McLaughlin. Okay, guys? There's a reason why Trump picked this woman to be the spokesperson of DHS outside of Kristi Noem. Okay? Because they're after Gen Z, guys. Okay? They are after Gen Z men. I mean, I know people think, oh, Trump picks these guys because he likes young girls. All right, sure. He does have a thing for whatever young girls, but it's beyond that, guys. This is the Charlie Kirk shit, where they're trying to make their entire government. I mean, you see their memes that they post, memes with video games, Minecraft and all this. They are just, it's the Benny Johnson, It's the Charlie Kirk. They know that that's their audience. Okay. They know that getting young men to be conservative and want women controlled and they get all the power and they don't have to excel. That is the way. Okay. Mediocre men being able to have everything is very attractive to a bunch of dudes that are like, you know, have not learned how to manage their, you know, emotional regulation. They're resentful because women are going to college, becoming educated, becoming bosses. The dudes are spending their youth, instead of like chasing a college, you know, prep, they're in headsets playing video games with a bunch of other dudes listening to Asmongold, okay? And fucking, you know what I mean? And so that's who they're targeting, guys, right? That's who they're targeting. That's why they're fucking, they're crafting their entire, you know what I'm saying? Their entire fucking administration is going after the military age men and trying to build a sort of conservative political army that will take away women's rights, take away gay rights, and be like scripture based. Dude, it's fucked up. Now, the crazy thing is, the crazy thing about this, guys, is I don't know how to stop this. Okay? I don't know how to stop this, because technically the only way to stop this is for men my age or men who are having kids to go and get, you know, healed and get educated and get therapy and you raise your son with an emotional connection to where he doesn't fall victim to that crowd. Because it's like, it's only guys that are, you know, unable to connect in a real emotionally connected way that fall prey to that manosphere type of like lone wolf sort of like aggression and controlling kind of domination, you know, propaganda. Okay. If you're emotionally connected and you know how to emotionally regulate your anger and your rage, you don't fall for that shit. You're not going to get, you know, roped into the resentment politics. Okay. But if you're resentful and you can't emotionally regulate and you haven't developed the ability to mitigate your, you know, complicated, like aggro and upsetting sort of emotions, it's real easy to get reeled into that shit, because they say, hey, this is why you're so angry. So get mad at them and take control of them and everything's going to be fine. And for guys that aren't emotionally developed, that idea of like taking control of it is really attractive. You know what I'm saying? And what's more, guys, the other challenge we face, I know there's a lot of talk about dem messaging, but we have a challenge because if you have a bunch of guys, okay, if you have a bunch of guys that are suffering from low self-esteem and their resentment related to that low self-esteem is being manipulated by manosphere and these other right-wing political people telling you who to hate and giving you this false like anger that makes you like turn your insecurity into a false sense of power. So the problem is when you're in that place where you are insecure and you're behaving in a mediocre sort of unevolved way, the idea of conquering that, going to therapy and getting evolved is not, it doesn't look good. You want the easy answer. You want quick power. You want quick authority. You want to be given the reins. Okay? So the messaging of do better and be a better man and get some therapy and fucking evolve and become a whole person, that message falls on deaf ears because they're like, no, I want like McDonald's manhood. I want to just be able to open up a container and have the top job and have all the money and the power, but I don't want to have to do shit to get it. I want to just be able to play fucking Call of Duty and then go to the office and fucking everybody bows down before me. Okay? And so you can't really win a messaging war because somebody who says, I'm going to give you all the power for nothing, you can't beat that. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't beat that shit with messaging when they say, hey, you know, do you want to have to work for it or do you just want to get all the money and power for free and you can just sit on the couch and jerk off all day, right? They're going to take the couch and the jerking off all day. Trust me. I've been there. Dude, weak people prefer comfortable lives versus hard truths. Yes, Game Shark. Dude, let's go. Dude, I'm serious. I went through a mediocre man phase, guys. I did. I went through it. It was like, it was hard. There's a lot of insecurity. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like, dude, it was, I mean, what it was is it was like coming out of, it was basically, right? It was coming out of, like going out into the world without the emotional capacity to be able to handle managing the world as an adult. Right? Going into the world, still having like, stunted teenage emotional control and impulse control, because as men, we're never taught how to like dig into our emotions. We're taught to ignore them and to work over them or athletically perform over them. So you're taught to just be invulnerable and stuff all this shit. And then you go out alone into the world and the chaos of like needing connection real bad, but not knowing how to get it just overwhelms you. And, shit like drug addiction or alcohol addiction, busted relationships, everything just goes haywire. And I mean, that was literally what my fucking 20s were like. And I feel like nowadays it's even a little more complicated because young people have way less face-to-face. Right? Like young people are even having trouble interfacing in the face-to-face world because they're growing up in Discord. And then they go out and like, you can't get a job in Discord. You know what I'm saying? You can't like, find a real friend group, a face-to-face friend group like on social media. You have to be out in the real world to do it, And like, I don't know, dude. Yeah, it's just hard. It's hard. I'm not sure what the fucking way out of this is, guys. I mean, obviously one way out is for them to just run with this, and then there will be a societal correction as they grasp for control and take away rights and sort of dominate. There will be a rebellion, and there will be a correction that happens naturally with fighting and brutality and, maybe, that type of thing. But I'm not sure, I mean, I'm not sure if we can message our way out of this. I think we need all the adult men. You ready? All the adult men, especially if you have kids, you got to heal, right? You got to heal. If you're an adult man and you have kids, you got to go to therapy and you got to meditate. You got to like unravel your childhood. Like we all got to heal. We got to like do that shit at fucking in our own backyards. All of us. I mean, this is what's happening, right? Is like kind of what I'm seeing when I look at even at Trump's numbers. Okay. Trump won mostly because of my generation, Gen X men, okay, voted for Trump like overwhelmingly. And why? Because most of the men of my generation, they just became workaholics. They developed whatever, a financial kingdom of their own, and now they're trying to protect it, and they don't fucking care, and they never got healed, and so they've had a detached relationship with their kids, and so they're the ones raising these sons that are, in the video game chats, watching fucking Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes and Andrew Tate, right? It's like those are the guys that right? It's like my generation are raising boys that are fucking falling into this shit because the men from my generation who didn't fucking fix themselves, who didn't figure out how to have that connected relationship with their son. So their son's doing the same shit they did, which is, you know, it's going out there being disconnected. You know what I'm saying? Right? Making it like women no longer like manners. Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you wanted equality? Like we don't deserve it or something? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Father's a MAGA turd. Yeah, that's tough. Right? Dude, the fucking the thing, like women don't want manners. What's the thing with women and manners? Like even, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're talking about the chivalry thing, but like chivalry's bullshit. Okay? Like chivalry is a manipulative tactic that men use to fucking like seek attraction. You know what I'm saying? He calls a guy a simp for holding a door. Well, yeah, no, that's weird. Calling someone a simp for holding a door. But the thing about the holding the door, though, is the holding the door kind of doesn't need to happen. Okay? Because men, like most men, like not most men, but a lot of men will hold the door for a pretty woman they're sexually attracted to, but they won't hold the door for anybody else. Okay? And that's a problem. Okay? All those guys that hold the door only for the women they want to fuck is a problem. Okay? Because that's manipulative. They're holding the door to try and get some sort of like sexual validation from the woman, right? If you're holding the door for everyone, I mean, dude, a lot of women don't want a door held for them though. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I mean, it's like, you know, but the thing about guys calling other guys simps and shit, that shit is just, you know, I think that the calling guys simps about being around women and shit, it's like, that is like part of a much larger thing. Okay. I mean, it's just the general socialization of men. Okay? Like right now, if you go into every middle school, you go into every high school, you go into almost every friend group in America where there's men, and I'm going to tell you, it all looks the same. Men are taught that you socialize by making fun of each other. You break each other down. You say mean things under the guise of you're joking. And like men just are mean to each other all the fucking time. And what's more, they're all wounded by it, but they won't admit it because he can't be weak, right? And then they fucking terrorize each other for being too nice to women, for being too nice to men, for fucking looking too pretty, for the way they dress, for being too not straight, for not being man enough, for not being built enough, for not being aggressive enough or whatever. It's just a constant, you know, fucking breaking each other down and attacking each other. Like that's what they do. And then they're taught that it's not supposed to bother you. But you know what? It bothers all of them. Okay? Every single man is hurt by that behavior, whether they admit it or not. They all are. Behavior's harmful. It's like super toxic. You know, it is super, super toxic. And so they don't ever, you know, get respected, loved, connected, like knowing that like these guys are like really there for them. If they have the worst day of their life, they can go and fucking sit in a room with their buddies and just fucking cry and fall to pieces. And their guys are going to hold space for them. They don't get that. Okay? They don't, man. They do not get that, and they need that. They fucking need that. Guys need that. Like, boys need that from their dads. They need that from their friends. You know what I'm saying? They need to be able to fall to pieces with their fellow men and have their fellow men hold space for them to be normal and human. You know what I'm saying? Dude, it's fucked up, bro. You got no friends? The world sucks? Dude, I mean, it's hard. Dude, it's really hard for men to make friends, you know? It's fucking, you know? Dude, it's brutal. Right? Oh, it's fucking brutal, dude. You should have manners, be kind to others without expecting something back. Oh, yeah, no, you would think you would, right? Your dad used to shake you to stop you crying. Dude, that's fucking brutal, dude. Dude, yeah, you know what my parents used to do? Like, my parents just couldn't handle the emotions. So what they used to do is when I was a baby and a toddler, they'd put me on a blanket, like outside, and just like have the dog watch me, right? There are all these pictures of me as a baby and a small toddler just sitting on a blanket in the yard with the dog fucking making sure nobody came and grabbed me. That they just couldn't even deal, bro. They left me with the dog, bro. And I grew up like I just have this irrational hatred of dogs. And I think that's why it is, bro. Dude, let's be positive to one another. We can try. Dude, my parents just didn't have any emotional bandwidth. They were like really emotionally neglectful, right? And they were like, you know, they twisted things, right? It's like if I got hurt, they didn't call my feelings for getting hurt. They were like, how could you do this? Look at what you're putting me through. So if I got injured, if I crashed my bike, I had to deal with them being put through something. Meanwhile, they're scolding, right? They had no concept that like, hey man, I'm hurt here. Like, I need you to take care of me, not to act like I've done something to you. This doesn't have anything to do with you, right? They were just complete narcissists that fucking had no, like, you know, no concept of the fact that other people other than them had feelings, right? And yeah, so it was really hard, you know, it was hard growing up in that environment because, you know, that sort of trains you to be codependent. I mean, luckily I was born an addict, so I resisted the codependent fucking thing. But like, dude, in America, we have a massive like codependence problem, right? We do. We just have like most of our population is living trying to please or do the right thing for somebody outside themselves, right? They're trying to like figure out what they need to be to make the people around them happy. It's just like massive. Like, my God, if everybody went to like Codependence Anonymous, this country would be like so much better, bro. So, excuse me, dude. You tend towards one of those two, right? That's kind of the yin and yang. You're either an addict or you're codependent, right? I think there's a little bit of a yin and yang with some of these personality things, right? And I mean, you're neither one nor the other. It's like anything. It's like gender. It's like sexuality, right? We're a little straight. We're a little gay. We're a little male. We're a little female, right? And some people are going to be more of one and less of the other. We're a little codependent or we're a little addict, or you're a percentage, 75% addict, 25% codependent. I mean, if you look at it, right? I mean, if you think about it, guys, even if you take alcohol out of the equation, look at what the nuclear family was, guys. Okay? Under this thing that I'm telling you, it was a man who was an addict. He was a workaholic. He was probably a drinker when he got emotionally stunted. He may have had a violence problem. He may have cheated on his wife because he just couldn't keep to one woman. And then at home was a mother who was a codependent, who cleaned up his, oh shit, bro. I just fucking spit all over my mic, dude. Oh, that's gnarly too, right? Because I'm having like some congestion. I'm sorry you had to witness that. But so there was a fucking codependent wife who cleaned up his messes, like got him out of a jam if something happened at work, right? You know what I'm saying? Like took care of the home, effortlessly tried to please him, dress right, keep the house clean, take care of all the kids, attend to everybody's needs but her own. And I mean, that was literally the entire identity of the American family, was a workaholic addict dad being cared for by a codependent, nurturing, over-nurturing, like mother, right? That was the whole fucking, that's the basis of our entire fucking society, man. You know what I'm saying? And like she was never fulfilling her needs because she was taking care of everyone else. And he was like, you know, workaholism is like the ultimate addiction. It's the addiction that everybody is excuses. Okay, so guys, what we're dealing with isn't even like we're dealing with, oh, drug addiction. I mean, we're dealing with drug addiction and poverty and all this, but we are dealing with a fundamental, like, you know, the same way that the foundation of policing was slave catching, okay? The foundation of our family existence is about an addict and a codependent fucking supporting each other while they participate in the addiction called capitalism. Because capitalism is addiction, okay? Ever increasing profits, you always more, bigger conglomerate, never enough. If you have 20 billion, you need 100 billion. 100 billion, you need 1 trillion. 1 trillion, you need 5 trillion, right? It's just an endless, it is literally, capitalism is just addiction, right? It's like, it's fucking brutal, you know? You know what I mean? And so we have to do some fundamental detangling. Now, what's crazy about this, guys, is when you look at like the gender explosion and you look at the sort of dissolution of the nuclear family, it's not a bad thing because people are trying to break the cycle of the addiction workaholic dad and the fucking, you know, codependent mother. Your dad has traumatic brain injury and screams and breaks stuff, just goes batshit on a daily basis. Jesus. I'm sorry, Alice. At 10, my mom yelled at me. Why did I cause him to act that way? Talk. Oh my God. So your mom blamed it on you. Dude, that's so fucked up, bro. Oh my God. Alice, thank you for sharing that. I'm glad you're here. That is so fucked up. But like, so the dissolution of this nuclear family is like a good thing. It allows us to recreate a family dynamic that isn't about the addict and the codependent. You know what I'm saying? And but they want that addict codependent thing back. Okay? They do. Like the evangelicals, the whatever, the conservative people, they like that. I mean, being able to just be an addict and fucking, flame out while you have a codependent person running around cleaning up all your messes, it's pretty attractive for a dude, And I mean, dude, like, any of you that are sober, you know what I'm talking about, right? All of my girlfriends were extraordinarily codependent. You want the dance party? Yeah, let's get it set. I got you. Let's go, baby. Thanks for the reminder. And dude, thank you, Alice. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Alice, I will say this. There it is, 45 minutes. Let's go. We'll get that dance party. So Alice, I don't know if you've heard of it, but there is a therapy called EMDR that is fucking pretty amazing. Maybe you've already done it. If not, I hope you get a chance to experience it because it's really good at detangling that type of ingrained trauma, right? But man, dude, we got we got some work, guys. I mean, and this is kind of, I guess, in a way, it's like good news. You know what I'm saying? Dance party, let's go, killer. I think this is good news because I think like a big part of the problem that we face, like a big part of our struggle is, you know what I'm saying, is detangling this stuff, right? Is sort of like, you know what I mean? It's like a big part of our, dude, proud liberal, my mom would abandon me in public places, beaches. Dude, that's rough, bro. Or bro, or sis, right? I don't know. I can't tell the gender of people in chat, but I just call everybody dude, right? But you know what I mean? EMDR is EMDR is eye movement and desensitization and reprocessing is what it stands for, right? Eye movement, desensitization and reprocessing. It's just a renowned therapy that was discovered while treating PTSD veterans, and what they discovered is it's amazing for any, whatever, whether you were berated by a parent or sexually abused or raped or physically attacked or, picked on by your peers at school or had a parent that negatively reinforced things about your body. It's like every type of negative connotation that gets wired into your brain where you receive some type of messaging or trauma and then you carried that on as a tape of like, I'm no good or I'm not valuable or whatever, all that harmful shit. EMDR allows you to untangle that and get those negative messages that were implanted from the trauma and the abuse and just get it out of you, right? It actually fucking removes it. Yeah, you're on the spectrum to adult diagnosis, constantly called you emotional manipulator when you had meltdowns, forced you on Zoloft, and oh, fuck, bro, that's crazy, Alice. Yeah, no, that's rough. Yeah, that is rough. The forced medication, and then, that becomes a cycle too, right? Because like, even when that kind of shit goes on, then we also can get into a cycle of where, the only time we ever get our parents' attention is when we're like in our trauma. And so then we get stuck in our trauma because they recognize us. Dude, that's just brutal. EMDR, every mofo deserves relief. Let's go. Yeah, shit's brutal. Right? Oh, fuck, boss. That shit is just crazy. Right? Hold on one sec. I want to see something here. All right. Oh, Epstein update is big. I mean, it might be. There was something that would be really interesting. You know what I'm saying? There's an interesting development that could end up being a big deal. Okay? There is the Epstein thing. And it'll remain to be seen, but it's a woman from a modeling agency, okay? And we're going to look at that in a little bit. First, we're going to look at Trump. We got a little sidetracked here with our bit on this, but dude, I think, man, I don't know, obviously, we're supposedly entering the age of Aquarius, so we are going to, I think a lot of this shit is going to come to a head, right? I really think like us identifying the problems is really what's important for a starter, right? I mean, it's like, I know they argue about defund the police, but identifying the problem that like policing started as slave patrols. So yeah, that's why there's racial profiling. That's why they only protect the capital and the ownership class. That's why it's such a dysfunctional thing that causes so much harm and leaves a lot of people, especially minorities, feeling like the police are an enemy, right? Why? Because it started as slave patrols, right? Right? Why is Wall Street and the stock market so fucked up? Because Wall Street was a slave trading market. And now the financial shit, 93% of the Wall Street stock market is owned by 10% of the people. So it's still like this small ownership, plantation owners, and everybody else doesn't own any of it. So like we're still stuck on that. Why are our families so destructive? Why are there so many divorces, etc.? It's not because there's no Jesus. It's because of that codependent addiction relationship. Okay. The foundation of our family unit has always been a workaholic addict dad and a codependent, doting, never take care of her emotional self woman. And when you have those relationships, they burn out. It's going to end in divorce. It's going to end in a gnarly divorce that's going to condition the kids to go out and repeat the same fucking cycle, right? And so we have to start looking at some of these fundamental flaws in our fucking systems and say, oh shit, right? You know what I mean? Maybe what we don't need is we don't need to be millionaires. Maybe we all need access to fucking therapy starting at like age 12. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we need more yoga and more meditation. And you know what I'm saying? And maybe we should be getting EMDR. And maybe people in like really crazy professions like police and fire department and military, they should be doing EMDR all the time, right? EMTs, like we need to be alleviating all of our trauma, You know what I'm saying? That's why they want to end divorce rights. Yeah, no, of course. They don't want women to be able to get out of those marriages, right? Like, capitalism wants us to be addicts, right? Dude, I'm speaking of it right now. I am a workaholic right now, guys. I am absolutely like, my son moved to New York City and I am covering the pain of like his absence. And, Jenny and I are both dealing with a hole here in our house of this person, even though her relationship with him was complicated. And dude, how am I dealing with that? I'm dealing with it with workaholism. Okay. And now is the workaholism is it accomplishing something? Sure. I'm building this channel. I'm making a ton of money so I can help my son in New York. But it's pretty obvious how I'm fucking managing thus far, You know what I'm saying? Then, and of course, when you start making that money and you're taking care of your family and everybody has everything, you feel like, oh yeah, this is okay. This is good. Now I'm aware of it. Okay. I'm aware of it. And, and so yeah, it's like, we're working on it, right? You got your kid a therapist in 6th grade. Nice. Kaya. Yeah. We got Bryce a therapist, my son a therapist around that time as well too. And it was when I moved him to a new house and I started a new relationship. But it was hard though, because when I got that therapist, it created tensions with his mom. And then so the therapist, I don't know, he didn't get the full benefit of it because it also made a complication in the family that made his mother really upset. So it was beneficial and not beneficial at the same time, because it was really good for him, but it also caused a lot of rift, a pretty big rift that, I'm still sort of kind of trying to navigate, you know what I mean? It's hard. We had 2 households, which made it very difficult. Right. But yeah, it's good. Kids should have access to therapists. Right. I thought we tried a little family therapy where me and his mother, even though we're 2 separate households, me and his mother and him went, and the idea was to sort of find a uniform sort of 2 household things, some sense of identity we could forge in both households, but it just didn't work out as well as I'd wanted it. You know what I'm saying? Right? That's like, you know, I tried to do something, but like both parties weren't into it. So it ended up, you know, I mean, some of it was good and some of it was, you know, incendiary, right? Right? Oh, shit. Humans are humans. Some sadness. You got some sadness? I mean, we all got some sadness, right? So we all got it. We all got it, you know? You know what I mean? You know? But, you know, this shit, it has a way of working itself out, man. You know? Dude, I tried. No, but I'm still working on it. You know what I mean? I have sadness. Oh, of course. Dude, yeah, we all do. We all do. But like, that's just like, that is a part of the existence, man. Like, if you don't have sadness, you aren't living or you're not being truthful with yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of us are like 50% sadness and 50% like hope. You know what I mean? That's just the reality. It's that sine wave, baby. Right? But dude, you know, I don't know, man. I don't want to sound like weird, but I revel in my sadness. You know, I do. I revel in it. I do, because it is the sadness that is sort of like, I don't know. I feel like the compassion comes from the sadness, you know what I mean? And because there's like the anger is like to not feel the sadness, we develop anger, and anger can be, you know, really useful in small degrees for, you know, like if you have to kick a wall down, anger can help you do that. If you have to get motivated when you've been stripped of all your hope, anger can like initiate that. But you don't want to live on anger, right? Because when you live on anger, you start ignoring your sadness, or you start like, instead of feeling your sadness, you turn it to anger, and then you hurt everyone around you, right? So with me, I like to just go into my sadness. You know what I'm saying? And just let it like fucking wash over you. You know what I mean? You speak so much truth. Thank you, Alice. You know, like I let it just like have me, knowing that it's not all of me, and it is like something valuable to keep in touch with. You know what I'm saying? It really is. Because I think our compassion comes from that. You know, you've been crying for 3 years. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That fucking sounds rough. You know what I'm saying? 3 years of crying is like, that's a lot. I mean, relationships can cause a lot of grief. They really can, you know? But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I love like the emotional range, you know? I do. I really do. I love the emotional range. And here's the thing though. You ready? I'm going to tell you right now what my favorite thing about sadness is. Okay? Because I have a lot of sadness, right? Whether it's like mistakes I made with my kid, or ways I fucking hurt people in the past, or having been sexual abused, right? There's a lot of fucking sadness, like from pockets of things. But you ready for this? The one thing though and hear me on this, because I think this is like my secret weapon, is despite all that sadness, I will go into my relationships, my endeavors, my attempts to change the world with everything I have, and willing to get my heart broken all over again. Like, I will not hold back. I will not hold back my enthusiasm or my excitement or my hope with every endeavor. And if my heart gets shattered again, I don't care. It's like I will shatter my heart 20,000 times before I will like limit myself to protect myself from having a broken heart. Snow Puppies twitch nervously. And I think that's really important. And that's the one thing that's allowed me to like, I don't know, to always like have my next adventure be better. You know what I'm saying? If I have a horrible, brokenhearted relationship, my next one, I'm going to be more vulnerable. I'm going to be more open. I'm going to be more present. You know what I'm saying? If I'm brokenhearted from the failure of my fucking whatever, YouTube channel, I'm going to work harder on the next one. And I'm going to put more of my genuine fucking, genuine self into it. You know what I mean? And I think keeping in touch with that is really important. Okay? Because the fucking, jadedness, it removes a part, right? If you're fucking jaded, right? There's a type of joy that you don't get if you allow yourself to become jaded. I've gone through periods of being jaded. You know what I mean? And that's the danger, right? Whatever heartbreak you think you're saving or whatever pain you think you're protecting yourself from, you're actually starving yourself of joy, But I will say this, when I look at my life, I actually cry more from joy than I do from pain, right? My crying, right? For me, pain is and sadness is an introspection and a creativity and a put it into music and artwork. But for me, most of my crying is from the joy. I cry, I joyful cry. That's where I really fucking get into it. I mean, I cried a lot during EMDR, right? When I went back through all that fucking repressed trauma, there was a lot of crying. But oh shit. All right. Oh. 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 Let's go. Wild Robot. Dude, I cried during every movie and TV show. Yeah, having boundaries is really, that's the complicated thing. I mean, we're sort of because our society is stuck on that sickness of addiction and codependency, we're not taught to have boundaries. In fact, we're taught quite the opposite. That right? You know what I'm saying? We're not taught what good boundaries are. And boundaries aren't even about saying no, right? People think boundaries are no, I'm not going to help you in this instance. Boundaries have nothing to do with that. Boundaries are simply being able to recognize where you end and other people begin. Okay? It has nothing to do with you can be helping somebody and giving them everything you have while engaging in good boundaries. Okay? And you can be saying no to somebody, I'm not going to help you, while having no fucking boundaries. It has nothing to do with actually what we allow or don't allow. Boundaries are simply being able to see, wait, no, this is mine and that's yours. It's being able to recognize, having boundaries is me being able to recognize when I'm upset with Jenny because of my own shit and it has nothing to do with her, and then being able to go and talk to her about it because I'm recognizing that wow, I'm being a real shit to you right now because of my own thing. That is having boundaries, right? It's simply recognizing where you end and the other person begins. And it's fucking complicated, right? We think boundaries are putting up a fence or saying, no, I won't hang out with you, or no, I won't let you abuse me or whatever. But it's that's not it. The boundaries are simply being able to see what's ours and what's not ours. And it's real complicated, especially when you get triggered, because you get triggered, right? We grow up, we have a bunch of stored trauma, then we go out in life, somebody does something, we get triggered, right? And then, oh shit, 24 minutes, guys. Let's get that dance party going. And then when you're triggered, everything feels like an attack. Yada, yada, yada. Right? Dude, yeah, it's hard. And I mean, nobody even teaches us that, right? We think of a boundary as like a border, right? A border or a fence or a like line in the sand, right? You know what I mean? I mean, it's true, guys. We learn the wrong shit, okay? You know, we learn the wrong shit, right? Why you love your channel in this community. Let's go, Barbad. Because nobody even teaches us. Like if you went around, okay? If you went around and fucking even asked like most people what having boundaries would look like, they would probably, many people would say having boundaries means if you're trying to take advantage of me, I don't let you. Or I like limit the things I do from you so you're not taking advantage of me. Or I like, you know, like won't let anybody like, you know, use me or whatever. But like all of that is like not it. It's like, it's literally simply being able to see in any given situation, what is your emotional state and what is the other, you know? And I mean, one of the things where this used to play out for me, guys, is obviously growing up under an authoritarian father. I grew up and I became very sensitive to like, you're not going to control me. Okay. That was like how I survived my dictatorial authoritarian father. So guess what would happen? I would go into every job I had and I would end up having an issue with my boss. Okay. My boss would be fucking controlling. This guy's trying to take advantage of me. And then I would dig in and be like, you're not going to fucking take advantage of me. You're not taking advantage of me. Fuck you, right? All right, snow puppies growl in their sleep. Let's go. But ironically, I thought I had these good boundaries, right? I'm going through life. Nobody's messing with me. If my boss tries to take advantage of me, I stand up to him. My boss is taking advantage of my coworkers. I stand up for them, right? I'm the hero. But then what I discovered later on is that a lot of times, there were times when my boss was being a controlling asshole and I was actually being a hero. But there were a lot of times when I was fucking like the boss was just responding to my emotional state, right? And there were a lot of times where I was going in there and just creating something for me to rebel against in order for me to reaffirm my sense of boundaries, right? Oh shit, bro. Dude, you lose jobs like that if you're a person of color? Indeed you do. Well, let me just tell you, Talk Chick, though, you lose jobs like that even when you're not a person of color. As somebody who has lost jobs, it's definitely much harder, but I definitely lost some jobs. Or the only reason I wouldn't is because I would play the politics and I would make sure that the most powerful person in that job space loved me, and I would protect them from their enemies so I could be a fucking douche and they would have my back and protect me. I mean, I was pretty, you know, I guess subtly manipulative about it. I mean, it's fucked up, right? That was also part of my family coping mechanism. But dude, yeah. Dude, kick bosses, sexual advances. Well, good, dude. They should have fucking lawsuits for that shit. But yeah, man. Dude, I don't know, dude. I don't know what our way out with this shit is. But I do know that this Christian Taliban stuff, I don't like. You know what I mean? Dad was a compulsive gambler and it made you hate people who gamble. Oh, yeah, that's tough. Right? Yeah, no. Yeah, it's hard, right? Because then you hate people who gamble, but then you might find somebody who's not even, they don't even have a problem with gambling. They do it just slightly as entertainment, but they could feel like the devil, right? You know? Oh, shit. Yeah. MAGA's putting us all in online therapy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, the Christian Taliban stuff is like, it fucking bothers me, guys. And it bothers me not because I'm so much afraid of like, oh, the Bible, they're going to force me. I mean, women are more afraid because they're going to push them into like handmaid territory, and the women have a lot more to lose than the men. But like the thing that bothers me about it though is that backslide, because if you look at the way religion teaches women to submit and the man is the leader and you know everything is forgiven, like religion is that fucking, you know, religion is that codependence. Like that codependent, addictive, like power dynamic relationship is literally embedded in religion. Like if religion comes back and takes control, we will continue to get stuck in that nuclear family bullshit cycle, right? Which is not healthy, you know? It's not healthy at all, right? Yeah. All right. But dude, I'm going to let you guys fucking listen to a song for a sec here. I'm going to go to the bathroom and grab a snack, and then we're going to do some politics. It's time. It's time. We had our little mental health session. Now we got to do a little bit of the politics. Yeah, no, it has been an interesting discussion, right? We always get these, dude, right? We get these crazy discussions. I love them, though. Oh, shit. Oh, keep snacks in the bathroom? I do not. No, you go to the bathroom and then you get a snack. Right? That's not obvious. Right? I think that should be obvious. It's reading comprehension. Right? What's the snack? I don't know. I walk into the kitchen and I see what's the vibe. Should be more angry and freaked out about the military peeps masquerading as religious leaders. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you're referencing, right? In regard to that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, everybody in the Trump administration is a religious freak, right? 𝗙់•, all of them, dude. Oh my God. I mean, 𝗙់• has a fucking crusader tattoo on his chest, right? The Department of War, right? Dude, that guy. And I mean, JD Vance, they're all fucking out, just crazy, dude. All right. I'll be right back, guys. Hang tight. Fucking enjoy some tunes. All right. Hang tight. BRB.
It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? I've got no place to You're all I've got. You're all I want. You're all I've got. You're all I want. Back in the day, complications never wore my patience. I was always ready to play, play, play. Why face the day in the sunshine in LA? We hit the beach and rode the waves. I lost my balance, I was faded, faded. I was trapped and wrapped up in a scene that was never really me. Plastic lights and starry eyes, and all the freaks were left outside. So I'd look in and wonder why. Where was mine? I couldn't find it, but you're all I've got. You're all I want. Some days it just feels like this will never
There we go.
be enough. Most days it just feels like a struggle to catch up.
Let's go. Dude, I like that quote.
And I won't mind the
Dude,
day
I like that quote
find
about science, right? Dude, that quote about science is amazing. About science, because there is spirituality in science, right? There absolutely is. Religious people think there isn't. No, tonight's candy. Dude, I woke up at 7:30 tonight. I'm on junk food. I'll probably even go get Taco Bell later. Dude, today's gonna be one of those days where we're just gonna eat gnarly. Because Jenny stopped eating candy, so we have a bunch of extra candy. Dude, no, my Taco Bell order is always the same. You ready? So I get the same thing. I get 2 of the chalupas, right? Or whatever. I think they're called chalupas. And I get the 2 chalupa and crunchy taco meal. And it with Baja Blast. And then the crunchy taco goes in the refrigerator. And Jenny has that in the morning because it's gluten-free. So, and then I get a steak grilled cheese burrito. And then I get 2 cheesy bean and rice burritos. And so what I do, all of it with no sour cream. And so I eat the 2 chalupas and the steak grilled cheese burrito. And then I put the fucking, the cheesy bean and rice burritos in the fridge and I eat them the next day. So that's what I get. It's 2 days. It's like 2 meals, right? So when I go to Taco Bell, I always get 2 meals, right? Oh shit, dude, let's go. All right. And so Jenny stopped eating candy because it was making her joints hurt, right? Sugar. She's got rid of sugar because she was having an issue where sugar was just making her joints ache. And she got tired of having achy joints. So she gave up sugar. Her body's been like telling her to get rid of the refined sugars. I, however, do not have that problem. Let's go. All right. You ready? Eating Taco Bell is self-punishment? I disagree. I think fast food absolutely has a place. As long as it's combined with a fucking healthy diet, right? You know? I mean, that's just it, guys. It's like when you look at the yin and yang of things, like everything in life has a place. You just have to sort of like not let yourself be consumed by any one thing, right? You know, a little bit of fast food, like mostly healthy food. I mean, obviously you want to fucking, you know, you want to mostly like eat healthy, right? I mean, and that's what I do. Like most of the food I eat is like salmon or chicken in an air fryer. So there's no grease, and then green vegetables and rice. And that's like 90% of my diet. And then 10% of my diet is fast food. Right? You know what I mean? Dude, I love it. I love it. But, you know, everybody's got a vice, right? I gave up the cocaine. I kept the Taco Bell. Right? Cocaine and alcohol and marijuana and fucking all the other drugs gone. Taco Bell, McDonald's, and Popeyes stayed. You gave up Taco Bell. Hey, man, you know what's crazy about this, though? Is I didn't eat Taco Bell for like, I don't know, like 15 years or something, right? I used to eat it a lot in my like 20s and early 30s. And then I stopped eating it because I ended up like, you know, working in a bar that had like, I would eat the bar food because it was free. And when I had a recording studio, I used to get Taco Bell like every night when I ran a recording studio for a while. But then I didn't eat any Taco Bell for years, dude. It was like 15 years. And then my son actually is what got me into Taco Bell. Like him and his girlfriend would fucking go to Taco Bell and I'd be like, oh, can I get you something? And then what I started doing was I was like, I would pay them. I'll buy your food if you just bring me something back, which was a deal that they would always jump at, right? So pretty soon I'd be going up there when they were living here and be like, you guys want Taco Bell tonight? And they're like, of course we. So I'm like, credit card, let's go. Dude, oh shit, that's how it went. That's what got me back into it. Dude, was the kid, right? Why no marijuana? No drugs. Because I'm an addict. Pine Box 2026. All right, let's go. Oh my God, guys, we got 3 minutes. Dude, I've been lacking. Oh my God, we need 10 in 3 minutes to preserve the dance party. Don't make me have to start this over again. Let's go. The time is now. The time I'm going to be a carnival barker for 3 minutes. Can we get 10 and 3 and fucking secure the dance party while we get into politics? Or are we going to get jacked? I don't know. We are fucking, oh shit. 10 and 3, 10 and 3. Here it comes. 2:45. Oh my God. 9. Stop the stupidity. Kicking it off. James coming through. Coming in hot. Let's go. Oh, 2.5, baby. 8 left. We got this. Dude, I feel like we got it. I feel like we're getting this. Dude, we've come this far. There's going to be no stopping us. 2:25. Dude, I almost missed it. It should have a buzzer or something. Dude, let's go. 7 left. There it is. Stop the stupidity coming in. Woo! Yeah. Let's go. We got this. Dude, hypermobile. Let's go. LFG, baby. Right back at you. All right. 6. 6 more. 5 more. There it is. 5 more. Stop the stupidity bringing it in. Oh. Dude, 150. 5 left. We got this. We got this. 4 left. Let's dance, Drew lad. We got you, brother. Thank you. Oh. We can do this? Yeah, we're doing it, baby. We're doing it. Oh shit, there we go. Now there's only fucking 2 left, dude. Stop the Stupidity came in. Let's go, bring it. Proud Liberal, let's go. Stop the Insanity. I love Susan Powder. Dude, let's go. Dude, Elite. No way, dude. Our favorite Canadian, Elite, longtime Fortnite fan, coming in hot. Let's go, Elite. Good to see you, brother. Dude, Tony Velez, let's go. And Girl Friday and Tuesday, bringing it home. Let's go. And just like that, dude. Alice in Wonderland, who fucking kind of kicked us off with all this. Alice in Not Wonderland. Dude, what the fuck is going on, bro? Let me hit the heart. Thank you, Girl Friday. Thank you, Alice in Not Wonderland. Future discussion on political conspiracies. I mean, I don't know. I don't really go too deep into the conspiracy stuff. But I think Discord would be a good place to, you know, maybe vent that. Snow Puppies, Actively Snarl, Stop the Stupidity comes in. Let's go. But I don't know. Sometimes I meander them. So I don't take dance suggestions, guys, because copywritten music, right? So when I dance to a Swedish artist, a song called Little Deja Vu by a guy named Stefan Karlin, right? Because I have a music service that I'm allowed to use on my channel that I pay for, but you can't do copywritten music on YouTube or they fucking, you know, they fucking demonetize your shit and the record labels take all the money. So unfortunately, we don't have the freedom. But I will say this, now that Elite came in, I do want to share something with you guys. So, let me just, before we go and blitz through some politics here, I want to give you a little background. All right. Most of you are new and you met me doing the politics, right? You tried sending a super chat. It keeps saying error. Yeah, Christine, maybe like somebody in Discord or something can help you. But let me just say this. I got to give you a little thing about my background. So I started as a gaming streamer. Okay. I mean, I was a musician for most of my life. In 2016, I quit my bartending job to make music videos and to direct and write television, okay? And I went all in. I lived on credit cards for 3 years. I made a bunch of short films. I made a bunch of great stuff. I won some awards for doing some PSAs about not hitting kids. I did some activist work, but I could not forge a career at all. And then I got depressed in 2019, and I had been playing Fortnite with my son when he was at his mom's house as a way of hanging out with him. And then he quit playing Fortnite. I got depressed and started playing like squad fills of Fortnite in 2019. And everybody would ask and say, are you streaming right now? You sound like a streamer. And I'm like, what's a streamer? And then I started watching Twitch. And I started watching Ninja and Tfue, and I was like, I got this crazy idea. I think I can stream Fortnite. And so in summer of 2019, I told my girlfriend, I'm going to stream Fortnite. And she was like, I think you're going to be really good at this. So I started streaming Fortnite on my PS4 on a chair in the living room with a green screen. And then I bought a computer. And then 2 years later, during the pandemic, I just blew the fuck up. And I was able to pay off all that like 4 years of credit card debt that we had amassed. And like all of a sudden it was like, holy shit, I'm like famous, right? But then there was a problem in that I didn't really like being a gaming creator. I mean, it was easy. It was fun. It was, you know, to a point. But I didn't like the videos I was making. I didn't like the creative side to it. You know, it wasn't substantial at all. And then like Andrew Tate reared his ugly head, okay? And then I stood up to Andrew Tate and I stood up for like trans rights and I made a whole bunch of the gaming community mad at me. And then I quit. And I was like, dude, fuck it. I don't want to do it anymore. And I started doing the politics, okay? And now here we are doing politics. But, okay, there was a thing though, guys. Let me just tell you, I had made a promise to myself that when my YouTube channel started averaging 500 viewers, I was going to then stream some video games again, because I think it is important to have a left-wing voice in that community. Okay, and now this month of November, we hit the 500 viewer average. Okay, And let me look at it to see what it exactly was for the month of November. I'm checking it out right now. It was, dun, 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 dun. We hit a $5.99 was our average for the month of November, right? Or wait, no, $5.82. $5.82. And this was the first month we averaged over 500. So that being said, I had switched my Twitch account to politicalpunk, but I went and got my Twitch handle acting like Tommy back. And so now in December, I am on my Twitch channel acting like Tommy. I am going to stream Fortnite, but like I don't know how often it's going to be. It could be like one day a week. It could be like one day every 2 weeks, right? It's not going to be that often because I don't have that much time, but I am going to stream Fortnite very occasionally on the Acting Like Tommy account. Again, I'm going to start sometime in December as time is limited, right? So that is one of my little announcements, right? Because I don't want to be a gaming streamer again, you know what I'm saying? But I did play the new season with Fortnite, and it's actually pretty fun. Dude, it is. It's pretty fun. So I'm going to dabble a little bit with that and just, you know, just sort of like re-interface with the gaming community. But I refuse to do it until we hit 500 average. And here we are, dude. It only took us like, fuck, bro. It's been less than 6 months, boss. I started streaming at the end of July, right? July, August, September, October, November. It's been 4 months, dude, to get to 500, right? Yeah, no, I like the new season. 8 p.m. Yeah, I don't know that I'm ever going to stream at 8 p.m., but I'm trying to start at 10, right? Or 9. I'd like to go like 9 to midnight. We'll see. We'll see, right? It's just hard. It's hard because my fucking, like, my editing schedule is too crazy, bro. It is just too much, boss, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just too fucking much. You love it when good people's goals shape up for them? Let's go. Oh, shit. But yeah, dude, Fortnite, I mean, the game is fun. The community is particularly toxic. Right? All right. You ready? We got to do a little bit of politics. All right? I can't stay too late tonight either. I know I started late. I slept until 7:15 p.m. Bro, my schedule has been so fucked up. Spins your eyes. Dude, yeah, no, there is a lot going on in the game. There is. All relative if you shift your sleeping. Yeah, no, it's not though, Jen Cole. Because the thing about this is part of my schedule right now. My schedule's not just about me, right? Like what you may not realize is like me and Jenny, even though we live kind of separate lives in a way. We're both loners that really revere having the house to ourselves. So we're on a schedule where she has the house to herself from like normally 8 or 9 in the morning until like 3 or 4 p.m. where she works part-time or doesn't work, but the house is hers and I'm sleeping. And then I wake up around 4 and we interface, maybe have some food together. Then we go and do our separate work while in the house together, crossing paths. Then we have a massage trade where we spend time massaging each other and watching a TV show or movie. And then she goes to bed and I stay up at night and have my alone time while she is sleeping. And so we've had 2 separate, like we have separate bedrooms that enable us to live 2 separate existences. Right? So we, and it works really well for our relationship to do it that way. right? Because that way we both get our solo worlds and we have our unified world, and right? And we crisscross. I see her in the morning when I go to bed. She's saying goodnight to me when I'm starting my editing time. And it is amazing. It is like really fucking amazing. It is. It's really cool. Because we operate like needing that alone. Now, it could be different if, you know, if we had a beach house or something and she could go to the beach house and you know, get some alone time. But you know what I mean? But so, yeah, it's not just my schedule, right? As long as you're not only coexisting. Yeah, no, you don't want to be coexisting, but we don't just coexist, right? We're very like deeply connected, you know, like she makes all the shorts and I do the long form videos, and, you know, so we're kind of like working together, and then I support her. Like she's got a whole other thing of her own. You know, she like trained to be a psilocybin facilitator and shit. So she's got a whole healing practice that she's building. And, you know, we just have two separate existences, and then we sort of like work for each other on our own things. But the important thing, the linchpin, is that massage time that we spend about 30 minutes to an hour massaging each other every single day, right? Every single day. So the thing is we occasionally eat together, right? But mostly we don't eat together, but we do sometimes, right? Obviously when we go out to dinner. And so we probably eat together like once every other day, right? But we don't sleep in the same room. No, I mean, and that's a good thing. Because I'm a phone in bed kind of guy, and she's I need like pitch black and no movement kind of girl. And so we sleep in the same bed when we go on vacation, right? Like when we go to the beach, which we do 2 or 3 times a year, or anytime we go on vacation, we share a bed, right? But here we don't. I mean, we share a bed when we're, you know, entertaining each other, you know what I'm saying? But we don't share a bed for sleeping, right? I don't really like sharing a bed with another person for sleeping, and neither does she, so it works out. I'm not a fan. I am not a fan, dude. You know what I'm saying? Of the bed sharing. I like to be splayed out on my phone. I fall asleep with my phone. Sometimes I drop it and it lands on my face and shit. You know what I mean? And she's like a very, you know, it's got to be dark and quiet type sleeper. Dude, I mean, I go to bed during the day too. But, dude, I don't like the co-sleeping. Let's go. Oh, shit. Politics? Yeah, it's time. All right. Let's get into it. Dude, we're going to cover a couple things. I don't know how much we're going to get into because what do we got on here? All right. Dude, obviously, we talked a little bit about the election results. We knew the election results were happening, okay? We knew that was happening. But, dude, we got to look at Trump here, all right? Dude, Trump, obviously, something is going on with something's going on with Trump, right? I mean, we know he is. Now, here's the thing. You ready for this, guys? I know that we saw Trump. Like last night, he posted like 200 times, right? Did you guys see that last night? I mean, I'll show you, dude, 150 times on social media. Dude, I posted about this. Look at this shit, okay? I'm telling you right now, dude. Where is it? It was this, okay? Let's look at this screen cap. This was Trump. Okay, in the wee hours of the morning. Okay, look at what he's doing, dude. In the wee hours of the morning, boss, he posted hundreds of times. Just insane. Okay, just over and over and over again, retweeting, watching content, whatever, retweeting the same shit. You know, just going manic. Okay, rapid fire. Now, I have a theory about this, guys, okay? I I think this was about Afton Bean, right? It was Afton, guys. I mean, obviously he's like sundowning. He's having some mental shit. I think he was freaked out by today's election and worried. Okay, he was worried about what was going on. There's a reason why this was happening before the election. Okay, he is massive amounts of anxiety. They have a razor thin margin in the House. Okay, he knows this doesn't look good. He knows his shit is underwater. You know what I'm saying? He was like fucking stressing. MTG quits on him. Other people are going to quit. I mean, he's fucking breaking down. Now, adding to this, guys, if he's having health issues, right? The guy's already having health issues, okay? And we know he's having health issues. He's got the swollen hands. He's covering shit with makeup. His fucking hair is falling out. He looks like shit. His neck gina is like just looking stanky, right? I mean, the guy is obviously getting crushed by every possible force. His immigration plan is blowing up. His approval rating is in the tank. The Republicans aren't raising a ton of money. They're getting their asses kicked in every election. They're resisting, redrawing their maps. I mean, he is fucking on the run from the Epstein files. You know what I'm saying? Like, Epstein is just the buzzer in his ear that's going off eternally is that Jeffrey Epstein's about to kneecap his ass from the grave. Right? Dude, look at this shit. Shit is crazy, bro. Right? Like, yeah, if these districts swing, he is fucked. And what's more, guys, there's not even a guarantee, right? If they redistrict, okay, say they redistrict Texas and Missouri and Florida and fucking North Carolina, say they redistrict all those states. You know what's going to happen, Indiana? The Dems are going to pick off some of the red districts because they can't redistrict out all the blue without weakening some of the red. And then that makes a danger that a Bernie Sanders-like Democrat that is, like a Maria Gliusenkamp-Perez or somebody like, Tom Suozzi or Alyssa Slotkin can come in and take that red district. All right, because the economy sucks. They're fucking lying about the job numbers. Everything's fucking, crashing around us. And none of the shit he's promising is happening. So, you know what I'm saying? So, like, he's in a pickle, okay? He's in a pickle, dude. Dude, he is. He is in a bind. And so I think Afton fucked him up, bro. I think Afton fucked his shit up, boss. I really do, man. I really do. He is stressed, okay? He is fucking stressed. Dude, they are incompetent enough to blow it. Yeah, they are. And I mean the hubris, right? The hubris is what always gets them. Tallarico is a Dem taking Texas. Yeah, no, Tallarico is definitely fucking... Tallarico's dangerous, too, because he's a Christian, right? And, dude, yeah, the tariff checks, though, and the farmers... See, I don't even know how that's going to work, man. Those tariff checks... I mean, really? You're going to send people $2,000 and then the prices of everything goes up? Their healthcare prices go up? The national debt goes up, and you think the people are going to think that's a good plan? I mean, no offense, $2,000 ain't shit, guys. It really isn't shit. $2,000 won't even put a dent in these people's credit cards, man. Like what is, even if he does that, he's just giving them a partial refund of what they've already paid, right? I mean, I know he wants to do it because he wants it to look like he gave free money, hoping people will vote for him. but he's not, you know, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's see what we got.
It never would have happened if you'd been president. But this war is going on, and the president is trying to end it, not because, listen, we got a million things to focus on in the world as a country, but he's the only leader in the world that can help end it. And that's why even as we speak to you now, Steve Woodcock is in Moscow trying to find a way to end this war, to save lives of 9,000 people, Mr. President, as you know, are dying every week. More people were started. It never would have happened.
Dude, what is this? Like, dude, these cabinet meetings, like, that is Rubio. Like, how does Rubio say this? How does Rubio sit there and polish Trump's knob like that? Oh, there's no other leader in the world that could do this. Like, this whole world wouldn't be in the shitter if only you had been our supreme leader forever. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, Rubio, what do you think? You're never going to be fucking president, bro. You are going to walk out of this administration with a massive stain on you that, like, reeks from 100 yards away, bro. Like, nobody's going to touch you but the gnarliest right-wing evangelical shitters. Like, what is he doing? I just don't understand why these people are willing. Sorry, I need a piece of candy here. And everything I'm pulling out is fucking Butterfingers. I don't understand why these people are willing to get the stain, boss. Right? They're getting the stain. And look at Trump, dude. Trump is trying to end federal taxes for under 150K or whatever. We'll just steal the child tax credits and earned income for poor people. Yeah. No, for sure. Absolutely. And again, though, guys, you ready? Here's the thing. You know, Trump keeps talking about the 1920s. I mean, that is that's what they did in the 1920s, guys. There was, right? You have no income taxes on the working class, okay? But then you jack up the tariffs, so all the prices go up. So everybody in the working class is piss fucking poor, and they can't afford anything, and everybody who can afford to pay the tariff prices are living fucking large, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty much what it was. In the 1920s, a 60% poverty rate. Now, I feel like him and RFK Jr. would just be happy putting everybody who's poor into homeless camps. I mean, I've said before, guys, and I'll say it again. When I read Project 2025, okay, when I read Project 2025, I saw one clear through line, guys, okay? And here was the through line. I'm going to leave this running. And here was the through line I saw with Project 2025. All right, actually, I'm not going to leave that running because when I edit, it's going to be weird. I saw a two-tiered society, guys, which harkened back to enslavement, okay? And one tier of that society was the white working class Christians, okay, that were in the society that was making enough money, and they were raising families and buying houses and living large, okay? Then the second tier of society was the homeless, the LGBTQ, and anybody who couldn't afford to survive, right? Which would end up homeless, and maybe you get like an indigent stamp, right? Or you get a barcode on you that's scannable that marks you as indigent, and then you end up being part of the free workforce. So there's no immigrants because the indigent people are working in the chicken deboning factories, are doing the hard labor, are picking the farm crops, right? Free workforce, guys. Okay? And that's what I'm telling you, dude. I've been calling this since fucking 2024. Utah making literal homeless concentration camps. I'm telling you guys, if you read Project 2025, that's what it says. Okay? It doesn't say it like outright, but that's what it says. It talks about like the white Christian culture of America that is living and prospering. And it talks about everybody who's not that, okay, being like reformed or becoming part of their support network, okay? And it's like unspoken, man. It is fucking unspoken in there, but it is the obvious natural endpoint, okay? Right? You know what I'm saying? It's like if you create a society, guys, you create a society where the people who can't afford to live, you have a rehabilitation program that feeds them and houses them and gives them medical care and puts them to work so they can get back on their feet. But you just, once they go into that system, you just never let them get back on their feet. They go into it and you just never hear from them again. And there you go, right? That's what it is. And if they won't commit crimes, crime is way down. So they can't put them in there, right? I mean, we've always been a prison labor, slave labor. You know, it was crime. In the 70s, 80s, and 90s, crime was rampant. So they were packing those prisons. But now they're even saying, dude, you see these people, 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀, these right-wing influencers are saying, we don't have enough people in prison. Dude, they need more prisoners, man. And especially if they get rid of the immigrants. They need American prisoners, American workers in those camps, dude. Dude, it's fucked up. Okay? It is fucked up. But I feel like Project 2025 said exactly that. You know? And they're going to use the guise of like healthcare treatment, mental health treatment, getting over addiction, et cetera, et cetera. Dude, shit is crazy. Dude, it's fucked up. Dude, but Trump, bro, he is not well, boss. Dude, what the fuck I mean, look at him the whole time, dude. He looks like he's dying while they're all sitting there kissing his ass.
Is a year ago today, I was working on transition with President Trump, right? To build the greatest cabinet ever for the greatest president ever. And as I sit here today, I can't be more proud of how you did it, sir. You've created the greatest cabinet. It is a joy to be at this table.
Dude, what the fuck is this, bro? Dude, he's like, my catheter's clogged. Oh, Caroline, can I borrow your beautiful lips? Somebody change my diaper. And they're just sitting there just stroking it. Dude, he is like hunched over. He is having such a fucking health crisis, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on with... Dude, here he's not even awake, bro. Is he even breathing? I want somebody to put a mirror under his fucking nose, bro.
I can say, sir, that we are moving to return education to the states and to bring the level of education back up, making sure our students can read, are reintroducing the science of reading in schools. And going into next year, I can say, sir... that
Dude, I mean, not that any of these people at this table are even remotely interesting to listen to. It's all fucking, oh, you're the greatest person who's ever lived, and we're fucking doing a whole bunch of shit that we're not actually doing. But dude, I don't even think he's awake, bro. Somebody needs to slow the flow of fentanyl into the White House, bro. He is like fucking, oh, this was the quote though. You ready? This quote, I don't think this quote's gonna sell. You ready? Watch this one. This is a good one.
But our prices now for energy, but for gasoline are really low. Electricity's coming down. And when that comes down, everything comes down. But the word affordability is a Democrat scam.
The word affordability is a Democrat scam now. That's weird. He was using the word affordability in all his tweets for like a month.
They say it, and then they go into the next subject. And everyone thinks, oh, they had lower prices. No, they had the worst inflation in the history of our country.
Dude, no. Dude, the whole world had fucking inflation, and it certainly wasn't the worst America's ever seen. But like the pandemic, dude, he's like, the Democrats. Dude, inflation is up from what it was a year ago. Inflation is up. It's like went from 2.7 to 3.1. Jobs are being lost. AI is stealing jobs. Prices are up. Gas is like 3 cents cheaper on the national average. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is, the only difference really is they're not sharing any of the numbers. They're not putting out jobs numbers. They're not putting out fucking inflation numbers. You know what I'm saying? Dude, sorry. We're not going to be trolled by you fucking shit kicker. Get lost, buddy. I know you're just seeking attention. Here's your minute. Fuck you. Bye-bye. All right? Thank you. Dude, yeah. Yeah, no, you know what they're doing. It's somebody trolling, right? Somebody trying to sniff my crack. Sorry, buddy. My crack is reserved for not you. Right? Dude, fuck these guys. Dude, remember Biden? Yeah, remember the guy who navigated the pandemic recovery and did it better than any leader in the free fucking world. America recovered from the pandemic better than every other country. Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember Biden taking over a fucking shitstorm and watching him fucking solve it, bring manufacturing jobs back, which are now leaving again. I mean, dude, he fucking saved the goddamn economy, bro. You know? And he's not a fucking rapist. And he wasn't on Epstein's jet. Fucking idiots. Jesus, something. Dude. Dude. We'd be so lucky to have Biden. I mean, don't get me wrong. Biden was a bit of a turnip, dude. He was definitely sundowning. All right? But I feel like that 45-minute presser he did back in like July, remember? Where he did that presser answering all those foreign policy questions to reporters with no notes. And you could see that, like, yeah, he still gets it, okay? I mean, he was sundowning, he was old, but he still got it. He still understood the job and what, you know, how to navigate fucking the systems we live in. He wasn't out there talking about windmills and shit. Right? You know, I mean, he was capable at the job. He was just too old, you know. Dude, windmills are eating the birds. Dude, windmills are eating my testicles, boss. All right. Dude, look at him.
Resign over the fraud scandal in his state.
And who should?
Tim Walz, over the fraud scandal in his state.
Look, I think the man's a grossly incompetent man. I thought that from the day I watched JD destroy him in the debate. I was saying, who was more incompetent, that man or my man? I had a man and he had a man. They were both incompetent. And
dude, what did he say there? I had a man and he had a man and they were both incompetent. Dude, he just threw JD under the bus, bro. Dude, I had a man and they had a man. Oh my God, bro. Dude, that's funny. Dude, look at this. One more time.
Resign over the fraud scandal in his state.
And who should?
Tim Walz, over the fraud scandal in his state.
Look, I think the man's a grossly incompetent man. I thought that From the day I watched J.D. destroy him in the debate, I was saying, who was more incompetent, that man or my man? I had a man and he had a man. They were both incompetent, and I had a man and a woman. I thought she was very incompetent too, but now she's leading the field, and I think she's leading the field in this for the nomination. Anyway, look, that's up to them. That's up to the Democrats.
Dude, what is he talking about, bro? I had a man and they had a man. I had a woman and he had a man. And like, dude, what the fuck is he talking about, dude? He is like fucking brain dead, bro. He is. I'm serious. I can smell the stale scent of like catheter urine clogging from here, dude. It smells like Melania, right? Smells like Melania's fucking smoker's breath and a fucking clogged catheter. Like she's on there like on a siphon trying to clean that shit out. Dude. Oh, it is. It is like nursing home odor, bro. It is like witch hazel and fucking, you know, witch hazel and Depends and fucking Febreze. Just a Febreze fucking like shotgun, dude. We break out the Febreze shotgun. Holy shnikes. Yeah. That is some gnarly shit, bro. All right. Dude. But, dude, did you see my tweet, though? This tweet was accurate because look at what they had today. Okay, they had a press conference at the Pentagon. Okay, and the press corps there was Laura Loomer, a bunch of right-wing influencers. Matt Gaetz was one of the press people at the Pentagon today. And I was like, dude, the new requirement, right, to get a press pass is you either got to rape a teenager like Matt Gaetz, or you got to handcuff yourself to the Twitter building like Laura the Loon Loomer. Like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, Lindell was there, dude. Mike Lindell was there. Dude, this shit was insane, dude. Did you see his reporter? Lindell TV. Like, oh my God, boss. Hold on. He's got a reporter that was in there. Dude, I mean, look at this shit, dude. Dude, with the cross, Lindell TV. It's like religious TV. Like, what the fuck are we doing? These people have too much fucking money, bro. Right, here she is. These people have too much fucking money, boss.
And here we are live at the Pentagon representing Lindell TV. This is actually one of the craziest experiences of my life as a journalist. The fact that we...
Yeah, because you're not a journalist and because you should not be in there at all. Okay, you should be working at Arby's, like asking me if I want fucking horsey sauce with my fucking curly fries.
Have the opportunity to be a part of this briefing room that prior years, new media like ours was not allowed in this room. And in fact, what you're seeing behind me, this is the actual briefing room where the Secretary of Defense and other top Pentagon officials will be coming out and giving America essentially briefings on the movements of our military. And a lot has been going on. I've heard a lot of talk from...
Dude, look at her, bro. Dude, she is like, I just saw Jesus. I saw Jesus in the mirror in the bathroom.
Other reporters and stuff in this room lately, just about what's going on in Venezuela, what's going on in the Middle East. There's a lot of things people are talking about, and Americans at home want answers, and they deserve real journalists to be in this room asking the questions.
They deserve real journalists, right? Like these fucking turnips, dude. Real journalists like these guys who look like they're at church camp, right? Look at these fucking guys, bro. What is this guy over here? Is he chewing his fingernails or is he got a fucking, is he like puffing on a little knob over there? Dude, homie here, is that Sean Foyt? Right? That fuck, I mean, is this guy singing Kumbaya in the Pentagon or what? Dude, homie right here looks like a church camp counselor, bro. The fuck are we doing?
Want to know. And we haven't had that, as you guys know. We haven't had that for a really long time. A lot of the media that was in here, they refused to sign paperwork of, it's basically just ethics, right? Like this room that we're in, the Pentagon, this is a matter of national security.
Oh, yeah. It's a matter
There's information within these walls that impact our men and women that go and serve overseas, that serve in combat.
Wow.
And so part of being in this room, it's not a right. It is a privilege. And so when journalists like myself and journalists like you see in this room here.
Journalists? I don't see any journalists in that room. That is the problem that I'm having right now. Okay? Is I am looking at the room, but I don't see any journalists. Right? I do not see a single fucking journalist in this room, guys. All right. I mean, I see some fucking crazy far-right extremist lunatics. All right? I do. I see fucking Heather Mullins, who nobody has ever fucking heard of, right? I think she was the cashier at the car wash I went to in West Virginia last year, if memory serves. Dude.
Are in this room, there is an expectation of moral conduct and things you're allowed to do and things you're not allowed to do. And so we at Lindell TV, myself as a
moral conduct, what you're not allowed to do now, guys, in order to get in this room, you're not allowed to question the president. You're not allowed to question their motives. You're not allowed to ask for transparent information. You're not allowed to push back. And you're not allowed to make any question that makes them have to, take responsibility for their actions. You can only ask them questions that feed into whatever narrative they're trying to spread, right? And or, tell them how great they are, or phrase some question that basically says the Democrats are demons. Like, we know the Democrats are demons, but does the Democrat being demons affect the way you're handling the military? No. Despite the Democrats being demons, we're handling the military just great. Well, what about the 12 soldiers that died? That was Joe Biden's fault. Oh, now that we know that was Joe Biden's fault, does that kind of confirm the Democrats are demons? Yes, we are now confirmed the Democrats are demons. Would you, hey, Heather Mullins, would you like 20 Big Macs for your fucking lunch break? We have a whole fucking wheelbarrow full of Big Macs over here. Have at 'em, Heather. Have at 'em, Miss Mullins. Jesus fucking Christ. Bro, dude, what are we doing, boss? All right, next topic. All right, dude, I just fucking can't do it. You like that? The wheelbarrow full of Big Macs? Dude, the golden arches, bro. Dude, you know what I would say, though? I will say this, right? I'll tell you right now, guys. One thing I would be down with, okay, is I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring her back up, okay? And this, I'm going to be honest about. You ready? Let me pull her up. Get back here, Heather Mullins. There it is. Okay. So one thing I will say is this. I'm going to be honest. If we went to the White House right now and we got like a giant kiddie pool and we had mud wrestling between her and Donald Trump, like first one to knock the other one out wins, I would pay good money to go see that. Dude, I would get a ticket. I would take a red eye right fucking now to DC to watch her and Trump mud wrestle in a kiddie pool in this fucking room. Dude, I'm there. Okay. I think she would take him for sure, but it's gotta be a knockout. Okay. Nobody walks out conscious. Okay. But dude, there you go. That I would fucking, dude, what did I say? I don't even remember what I tweeted. I said defamatory, bootlicking inbreds get to sit in the White House with a lying rapist shitter. All right, thank you. Tell me how you really feel. Tommy. This is the perfect inbred marriage of MAGA dumb fucks. All right. Dude, I've minced no words, but you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it, bro. Heather Mullins, VD, Trump, right? Oh, shit. Dude, hot oil. It could be hot oil or mud. I'll take either one. But, dude, I would pay for. She's known for fraud accusations. Well, yeah, dude, all of these people are. Everybody that's in here, okay, are fucking frauds. You know what I'm saying? They're all people that are frauds. They're fucking, they are Charlie Kirk, okay? They're all like everybody in this picture, if you look, you have like, they're all like right-wing shitfluencers. Is that Joey Manorino? Dude, I mean, it is, look at Matt Gaetz. You have a teenage rapist fucking asking questions in here, bro. What the fuck are we even doing, boss? Dude, this shit is crazy. James O'Keefe is asking questions. Dude, this guy, I think, was on that Jubilee. Didn't he call himself like the black Sean Hannity or some shit? I'm pretty sure that guy's from Jubilee. That is Joey Manorino, dude. Dude, no fucking way, bro. Like, Joey Manorino is in the fucking press room in the Pentagon. Like, what are we doing? Okay. Now, my thing is this. You ready for this, guys? My thing is this, is I think this is going to backfire. Okay. I said it right here. I'm telling you right now, this shit's going to backfire because them having press briefings like that with just right-wing influencers, it just makes Trump look weak. Okay. And I know why he's doing it, because he's trying to build up the military into his giant ICE military Gestapo force, and he wants those right-wing influencers to provide cover while they do it, and they won't question anything, okay? But I think it's going to blow up in his face. I think it is, because the reality is these people, like, a lot of their fucking reach is just bots on fucking Twitter, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the reach here is just bots. Okay? And I mean, let's see what James O'Keefe's big question is.
Hi, James O'Keefe. 𝗙tože, branch chief here at the Pentagon, was caught on a video in the spring stating, quote, Trump is illegitimate. We're going to resist him, quote, everything he does. We know there are other people like this that work here. My question is, what steps is the Department of War taking to identify and address personnel who are in the self-described resistance movement?
That's why the work you all do is so important. This is a big building, and we want to make sure that we have the absolute best people working at it to protect Americans every single day. We don't take lightly what every single civilian and military person in this building do every single day. They do a lot of hard work, and we want to make sure that they're up to the task, and that they're on board and willing to serve our commander-in-chief, who was elected by the whole of the American people, to serve as our president. And we support him 100%.
See, this shit, I just don't think this is fucking doing what they think it's doing, guys.
Here at the Department of War, that is...
She's like, hi, I'm a Stepford wife. We're at the Department of War, and we just want to make sure we get all Trump loyalists who obey the supreme leader, who was elected by only 49% of the people, because even though more people voted for not Trump than Trump, we're all going to pretend like he has some giant mandate. Oh, thank you, James O'Keefe. Oh, thank you, Laura Loomer. Oh, can we get the teenage rapist Matt Gaetz to chime in? Mr. Gaetz, after you rape a teenager, how do you feel about what Donald Trump did today, Mr. Gaetz?
Our mission, that is our chain of command. So personnel is policy. The secretary has said that many times, and I know you all in this room are aware of that as well. That was really the crux of his speech at Quantico not long ago to the generals. Our people are our most important assets.
See, again, he asked, what steps are you taking? They're getting no information.
Sure that our people are consistently putting America first.
See, look at this. Even with these half-like shitters, right? O'Keefe, okay? This guy's a piece of trash, okay? O'Keefe is. He's a clown. But he asked a simple question. What steps are you taking to get rid of these non-loyalists? Okay? And she didn't answer the fucking question, right? They're not even answering the questions to their fucking Play-Doh reporters that they're putting in the fucking in the room, right? So what is O'Keefe gonna, right? Dude, I mean, it's fucking wild, bro, right? You know what I'm saying? It's fucking wild. So congrats, you guys are in the press room, but now they're not giving you any answers.
That's something we can.
Dude, and what was his response? What did he say here? I asked how the department is addressing employees. Dude, James, let's go. And the answer you got was an avalanche of words that said nothing. Is she the secretary of circumlocution? Dude, look at that. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it's going to fail. Because now what's going to happen is MAGA is not going to get any of their questions. Because look at this, guys. Here's why it's going to fail. Okay? You ready? Because up to this point, okay, Trump has survived on, you're not getting good information because the press are nasty and fake and being mean. But now they're getting rid of all the press. They're filling the room with their own people, and they're getting no answers. And they're like, wait a second. Now it's our reporters in the room asking the administration, and they're not answering. So now, like, without them even realizing it, they're not going to be able to blame the press anymore. And slowly their own people are going to see, like, holy shit, they're not answering us. It's like it wasn't the press. It's actually the administration. This is going to be a huge backfire, guys. It makes them look weak. And you know, and believe me, when I say reporters about these guys, I'm fucking doing this. But even their own people are like, bro, nobody's answering the questions, dude. Dude, great question. Who is this girl that gave absolutely no answer? What was the mealy mouth chain of catchphrases? Dude, she did a great job not answering the question. Non-answer. That was a non-answer. Right, dude? Right? It is like it's a huge backfire, bro. It is a fucking huge backfire. It is. It's a giant fucking cult meeting of fucking dipshits, right? Jesus. Dude, yeah, that shit is wild, bro. All right. We're done. We're done with that. SNL, Mr. Bills, them and Play-Doh. Oh, dude, that would be funny. All right, so the thing I want to look at with Epstein, guys, is this. Actually, I bookmarked it. So, and I have not researched this, so we are essentially getting this, like we're exploring this as we go. But I think this thing right here is going to be really relevant, okay? What we're about to look at. And I saw this on my radar today, and I think this is going to be relevant. It says, Next Model co-founder Faith Cates announced she's retiring after being exposed as part of Epstein's network. But her emails with Jeffrey Epstein call for more than a stepping away. She and her modeling pipeline should be investigated. She attributed her decision to being a 30-year cancer survivor who now wants to step back in order to give back. Okay? And now, why is this so significant? Okay? I know it seems like an outset, it's not very juicy, but I feel like this is getting into the territory where Donald Trump and his centering inside the Epstein world lied, okay? Because Donald Trump was not part of that Virginia Giuffre, like teenage, Palm Beach girls in the early 2000s. Okay, Section 2 of Jeffrey Epstein was like 2000 to 2006, okay? And that was when he had been stealing girls from Mar-a-Lago, Virginia Giuffre, and he still had his lieutenants like Sarah Kellen and Nadia Marcinkova, and they were going to the island with Ehud Barak and Peter Thiel and Bill Gates and all these people. And, you know, they had, you know, Sarah Ransom, and they had all these women at the island and an endless stream of Palm Beach, like trailer park girls from broken homes coming through Jeffrey Epstein's mansion. And that was after Donald Trump got mad at him taking his workers, and they had the fallout over finances. And Trump had sort of like backed away from him a little bit. And then he gets arrested and he goes to jail. And he gets the whole immunity deal and everything gets covered up. But before that, in the 90s, it was these people, okay? It was, you know, John Casablancas at Elite Models, okay? It was the Ford modeling agency. It was Jean-Luc Brunel's modeling agency in Paris. And then Jean-Luc Brunel and Epstein having MC2 modeling agency, and Trump had Trump Models. This was when he like had the beauty the beauty pageants and shit, right? And so this feels like it's very close to Trump because the people at the modeling agencies, they know, okay? And if you talk to people, like, you know, you really in-depth research this, what you realize is that this wasn't really Epstein's business, okay? Epstein was a tax shelter guy. He was a Bear Stearns guy, a like make money for billionaires and help them hide it guy. And then he met Trump. And Trump was a trafficker, bringing girls from Eastern Europe over here and putting them up in his properties, overcharging them rent, and then taking all the money they were making modeling, and he had these girls trapped. And when he would have parties, the girls were the entertainment. They were forced to come out. So it was like Epstein learned trafficking from Trump. And then by the time you get in the 2000s, Epstein had an apartment building that his brother managed. Epstein had girls living in his apartments. And he was like doing the Trump technique while he was running his sex ring. So the thing is it's more like Trump trained Epstein how to do this business, and then Trump got out of the business, and Epstein became like a sex addict who like took it to the hilt and eventually got busted. And yes, it was the business model of the modeling agencies. They were all like trafficking rings. They were taking young 14-year-old girls and they were taking them to Europe and bringing the European ones to America, and they were putting them in fucking apartments and shit, and then they were bringing them to parties, and all the celebrities and the rich guys and the modeling agency owners are just sexing up these fucking kids, bro. That was literally the business model. So this feels big, okay? Because this is like in addition to whatever the Michael Wolff photos, and you have Trump and Epstein and whatever they're doing, I want to know about this part. I want to know about Trump's trafficking through Trump models. I want to know about Trump and Epstein and what they were doing in the 90s, right? After Trump's divorce from Ivana, and when they were like besties and having those crazy parties that, you know, Luther from 2 Live Crew was saying, holy shit, I went to those parties. It was like, damn, those girls look young, right? Remember all that? Like, you know, I mean, dude, this shit is crazy. So I want to look at some of this, all right, and see what we got. I'm curious what her emails are, because I'll be honest, guys, I had not heard Faith Kate's name. I had not heard her name until like very recently. She was like not on the radar. Okay? She was not on the radar. Okay? And as soon as the emails surface, she retires. And what do we got here? So what was she involved in? She was... When are you back in NYC? Oh, this was around the Thanksgiving one, right? This was around the Thanksgiving one when Epstein implied that he had seen Trump on Thanksgiving during 2017 after Trump was fucking president, right? You know what I'm saying? That is fucking crazy shit, boss. So she 20th anniversary Next Models was in 2009. So dude, so she was there the whole time, guys. She founded Faith Models in like 1989, I think. Right? Is that what it was? Yeah, the 20th anniversary was in 2009. So 1989. So dude, she was there the whole fucking time, boss. Okay? She was there the whole time. Next Models founder, Faith Cates, is the latest female powerhouse to take a hit from the Jeffrey Epstein files. We're told Cates, who co-founded the modeling agency in 1989, quietly exited the company via a grammatically challenged email on November 24th after her friendly emails with the pedo resurfaced. In the email obtained by Page 6, Cates wrote, 36 years after starting Next by accident, I've decided it's the right moment to step back and retire from a job I loved. Like at the exact moment that the Epstein emails with my name get released, I've decided, you know, I'm feeling like retirement sounds like a pretty good move, doesn't it? She attributed her decision to being a 30-year cancer survivor who now wants to give back. Okay? Dude, the foundation I've been working with for the past years, now at a critical point, and now with the assistance of AI and the brilliant doctors we have been working with, we will be able to diagnose gynecological diseases sooner and save so many lives. All right. She concluded by telling Next, I'll be cheering you on from the sidelines. Okay. And this was her, I guess, in 1989 or something that looks definitely old. She looks older now. An industry source told Page 6 she was forced out and is now spinning it as if she's retired. But it was no coincidence. It happened with her name being riddled through all of the currently released Epstein files. Okay, so this is interesting, all right, because saying she got forced out, all right? So let's look at this. Hold on. Let's look at the database of Epstein emails. There's a database here of the Epstein emails. All right, so let's look at this. Let's look at Cates. All right. So, dude, holy shit, bro. She's she's in a lot of these, bro. How many people is she? There she is. She is in 18. All right. So what do we got here? This is the one about Thanksgiving. Okay. This is the one where she's talking with fucking Epstein about Thanksgiving. All right. Then what else do we have? Hold on. We're going to scope through here. This is the earlier one about Thanksgiving. So it was an email thread. I saw it. Where are you? You see who's playing Clinton went on to North Korea. Bing. Dude, see, this is pretty crazy, right? That like I find this really interesting when you have emails like this that seem very innocuous. But did you see who's playing Clinton went on to North Korea? And we saw this with, you know, like Epstein and Michael Wolff talking about Trump. And a lot of these emails mean it's like they're all know everybody who they like have something on. You know what I mean? Like after Bill Clinton hangs out with Epstein, everybody who knows Epstein is now watching Bill Clinton. And they always seem like they have these inside jokes or this inside knowledge. Like whose plane was Clinton on is something that means something to them because of whatever Clinton's involvement. It's like they all kind of know about each other's behavior. Like there weren't really any fucking secrets. You know what I'm saying? You know? And yeah, that Bing, I mean, dude, Clinton, North Korea, was it Bill Gates? The flight, oh no, it was producer Steve Bing. Okay? Right? I was thinking, it was producer Steve Bing. Okay? But like, why does producer Steve Bing, what is his fucking connection? You know what I mean? But they're like, why is that meaningful? Okay? You know what I mean? I mean, I don't really know much about him, but he's a fucking founder of some music fucking thing, right? He's a big Clinton supporter, obviously. Right? Gave 40 fucking, right? 49 million to Jesus, dude. He's a big donor to the Clinton Foundation, right? And he died by, look at how he died. Oh, shit. Right? Yeah. Right? Yeah, he's dead. Wow. And he's dead like Virginia Giuffre dead. You know? That's fucking crazy. It's like Putin, dude. He was 55 years old and he jumped from the 27th floor. Isn't that crazy? Dude, it says he had been depressed about lack of human contact during the quarantine. Dude, we've been quarantined for like 2 months, right? That is crazy, man. Right? So, dude, I mean, that shit's wild. Like, yikes. You know? Clinton went to North Korea, Bing's plane, Bing ends up fucking suicided, unalived. I mean, that is pretty gnarly, okay? So there's another one where she's talking about like one of the girls. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, guys, this Faith Cates thing, this is going to turn out to be good. This is going to turn out to be big. So Faith Cates in 2016 wrote to Epstein. It says, "Where are you? Not answering your cell. What the F? Does going to open LK down not look good? Trump is saying it's a great thing. Really?" Epstein sends a number. Is this the right number? Says it's disconnected. And then he flies back with 7626. So different 4 numbers, right? I mean, something is again, it's all that fucking code. But in 2016, she's still reaching out there. There's one from 2010. This is another one about that girl. We already looked at that one, whoever that person is. Dude, yeah, I'm gonna have to like give a fucking, I'm gonna have to go in and do a deep dive on this. But dude, she had a pretty significant interaction with him. That Bing, I mean, guys, that fucking that Bing email seems a little weird, doesn't it? Like, he's another guy. Dude, he's like the 12th person attached to this case who has like unalived themselves, guys. That is significant. All right. That is very significant. What was I reading from? So guys, there is, if you want to look at this shit, there is here, let me find it. So I'll put the link in chat. So the Courier, okay? Courier made a database, okay? It's a Google pinpoint, but it's a searchable database that is from the latest dump. This isn't all the Epstein files. This is the 20,000 documents that got released the day that 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆𝗆 got sworn in. Okay? Shutdown ended. 𝗍𝗆𝗆 got sworn in. The Democrats released those 3 documents about the dog that hasn't barked. And then the Republicans released 20,000 documents. And then the Courier, one of their journalists, they compiled them into a searchable database. So you can search by date, you can search by organization, you can search by location, you can search by name of people. And they're all emails that came from Jeffrey Epstein's personal email account. And they are emails that they got from the estate. Okay? And now the estate is like brand new, guys. Up to this point, all of the Epstein files were like the Palm Beach police. They were the FBI. They were like any lawyers and depositions. But so the estate is Jeffrey Epstein's personal estate on the Virgin Islands. And they were like out of this. They had not submitted anything. They had not worked with anyone. They were kind of staying out until Robert Garcia pulled that move in the oversight committee meeting with fucking Clay Higgins when they did a surprise ambush to pull a vote on subpoenaing the estate. And it was a call to motion that they had to take. Travis had to do the vote. You remember? It was the one where everyone voted, voice voted. He said nay, and he said the nay has it. And they're like, no, we need to record this vote. And they ambushed him, and they got a subpoena for the estate. That's how they got the birthday book. That's how they got all these emails. Now there's like a tug of war with the estate, because now what's going to happen is the Trump administration is going to say, oh, the estate's not playing ball. Okay, there's going to be a lot of gamesmanship coming, guys. This is a long fucking way from being over, and these things are a long way from being released. But this is a great sort of like starter pack. Now, again, though, what you do need to realize is that everything here was released by the Republicans. Okay? So the Republicans are always going to release shit that incriminates Democrats, and the Democrats are going to release the shit that incriminates the Republicans. So there's going to be an information war that we're venturing into. But I'm telling you right now, though, I believe this woman right here is going to be very significant, because there's like Epstein's criminal case in 2006 with the Palm Beach police and later with the FBI. That really has nothing to do with Trump, guys. Trump was in the 90s, okay? The Trump Epstein was in the 90s. It was like a completely different generation of the Epstein situation. And I really want to look at that. That was when, you know, Maria Farmer called the FBI and reported Trump and Epstein, 1996, okay? And yes, this woman knew about it, but they all did, okay? This woman was probably participating in it, okay? I mean, by her silence at the very least. I mean, we're talking, you know, Ford models, Next models, Trump models, you know, Brunel's modeling agency, you know, Elite with John Casablancas. I mean, we're talking all of these modeling agencies knowing that these guys were trafficking girls. I mean, Trump models was, like I said, they would bring girls from Eastern Europe. It was a ruse, okay? And I'll tell you exactly what it was. They would go to Eastern Europe. They would find girls for Trump models. They would bring them to New York. They're like 13 to 18. Okay. Trump puts them in a property, charges them exorbitant rent. There's like 10 girls sharing a big room, and he's charging, each of them are getting overcharged. So he's making like 10 times the fucking rent for those spaces. Then he gets them modeling jobs, and then he takes half of their money and they have to pay rent with the other half. So he's fleecing them twice. They're essentially indentured servants. And then in order to keep modeling, every time he has a party, they have to come and be the entertainment. They walk on the table with no panties on, and they get fondled and sexed up by these guys. I mean, it was gnarly. And all of this was going on, and nobody said anything. And this is like, it was literally the industry. Either American girls were going to Europe, where Jean-Luc Brunel and the European agencies were doing that over there, or the European girls were coming here and they were doing it in America. And this is like what Epstein based his trafficking ring on. It's like he learned how to traffic from Donald Trump. And so I'm going to keep an eye on her. I think this might be one of the most significant breaks, guys. I mean, she's opting out now, but I'm hoping we get some more information on her. I'm hoping that reporters are digging in on this, because this woman knows where a lot of the skeletons are. I'm telling you right now, dude, she does. And there are many more people in this industry that fucking know about this. I mean, it's pretty crazy, and it's fucked up, you know? And I mean, Epstein went on to use that technique. He built a stable of girls from down in Palm Beach. He would fly them around, take them to the island, take them to New York. He would put them in his properties, and then he would control their finances and make it so that they couldn't go anywhere. And he would then, you know, he would fucking threaten them and, you know, basically tell them, you know, that if you, he would basically tell them, like, if you say anything, I'm going to fucking kill your family, kind of shit is what he was doing. And I did make a video, guys, about that 60 Minutes piece. I made a video about that. I'm going to put a link to it. I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but I did look at that movie and we talked about that. Let me find it. I made a lot of Epstein videos, but there's one in particular where we cover that. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I believe it may have been this one. Hold on, let me check this. What's up, guys? No, that's not it. Oh, this one. This is the one. No, that is, oh, no. That's fucking, that is, what's her face? All right. I know how to find it. There it is. That it? Nope, that's not it. Dude, it's so hard to find this shit. Is this it? This might be it. We taught Donald. Oh, yeah, it's this one. This is the one. All right. It's Trump models exposed. There it is. But I've done a number of videos about the modeling agency connection, but this one in particular was about that 60 Minutes piece. And it was a 60 Minutes piece where they talked to this woman who was the head of Ford Models. This is back in the 80s. And they interviewed, talked about Jean-Luc Brunel, and like these models were telling the stories of the trafficking that was going on in Europe and especially Italy. Like Italy was a hotspot, and France. And, you know, they'd whisk a 14-year-old girl over there to be a model. And, you know, some corn pone, like teenager they found in like, you know, Nebraska or Iowa. Okay. And then they would be there with like no chaperones. And then they would get, you know, ample access to cocaine and parties. And next thing you know, they're like having sex with fucking European actors and princes and other like rich nobility people. And they had to do it. It's like if you said no, you were on the first plane back to fucking Corn Pone, Iowa. And this was literally the business. And they even confront the woman in charge of Ford Models. And she's like, you know, I'd like to believe that that really wasn't happening. But like, dude, everybody knew it was happening. And then there were certain models that went over there. Like if you go to Mia Jovovich or Brooke Shields, there were models that their parents went with them. Okay. And the models like who made it big, I think almost exclusively were the ones that didn't get that route, that went with a parent chaperone. Okay. And it, you know, to prevent that from happening. I mean, dude, it was just literally, that's what the industry was. Because when you think about this, guys, you ready? They were discovering models and shipping them over there or bringing the European girls here. But like 1 in 500 would become an actual Brooke Shields, Christy Turlington, Heidi Klum, right? 1 in 500, 1 in 1,000. Really what it was like thousands and thousands and thousands of girls going and getting hardly any jobs and just literally getting sex trafficked until they burned out or developed a drug habit, and then they would get shipped home as though they were like failures, right? I mean, dude, is bad. It was like just grim is not even like putting it lightly. And it got a little better, you know, later on, but I knew a girl, okay, from Boise that now she has a modeling agency in Salt Lake City. Right? She's married now. But I knew a girl in fucking, I don't know, like 2004, 2005, who she was from Boise and she was a model. She went to Paris. She went to Italy. She went to fucking, I don't know, I think there was shit in Berlin and stuff too. But she would go away for months at a time. And eventually she quit though, because it was still like pretty fucking gnarly. You know what I'm saying? But she was also 18, right? She was like 19, I think. So she was at least legal, but like, and even then she did it in Paris for, I don't know, like 3 years or something. And she was like, dude, I'm out. And then she formed her own modeling agency to try and offer models an experience that's not that, okay? And there are some people that are trying to do it legitimate, like usually female run now, that are offering spaces where girls can be models without the predatory shit. But like, man, in the 90s, it was literally 100% predatory. Like all the guys that ran modeling agencies were pretty much predators. And they would end up, you know, like John Casablancas married a girl who was like 16 or some shit, right? The guy from Elite, you know, the stroke singer, Julian Casablancas, his fucking dad, right? John Casablancas, this was Elite Modeling Agency in New York. He's dead now, but he married a woman. What was it? Right here. In 1993, he was 50 years old. And he married one of his 17-year-old models. 17. Okay? All right? But, right, she had won the model look. She was 17 when she married him. He was 50. Now, you know, that was not the youngest that they dabbled in, guys. Okay? Yeah. Fucking crazy. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, this is fucking wild shit, bro. Right? And this is where the Trump involvement is. All right, but now it's dance party, guys. We gotta go. I gotta fucking hit the dance party. It's time to go make some videos. Big happy birthday to Brittany. We love you, Brittany. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. Oh. Oh. Yeah, Brittany. It's Brittany, bitch. Dude, I love Brittany. Love her. All right, you guys ready? Make sure you stretch. We're about to get our dance on. Thank God for the dance party. I feel that. Let's go, baby. You ready? Are you ready? All right. Let's get it. Let's get that groove on. Make sure you get your hips into it, people. Come on, baby.
But I've known, been here before. knowing that I have now almost a bit holy notion that I will make it out somehow. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you and I can see it light. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you and I can see it light. Things will turn out alright this time, I know.
Let's go! Oh, yeah, baby! Woo! Oh. Let's go! Dude, it feels good. That blood flowing. Let's go! Oh, shit. All right, I'm gonna go edit some videos. To the edge. Oh, we drift to the edge. Oh, we drift. Oh, we drift to the edge. Dude, let's go, man. Thank you, boss. Let's go. Oh, just like snow castles. Oh, we drift to the Thank you guys, I love you, and remember, it's all about one thing. Freedom! Good night!
Freedom.